Chapter 801. Let them understand what is called mutual slaughter. An angry roar shattered the thick fog. A huge wild beast rushed out of the fog. A living wild beast. Lin Moyu felt the breath of life from it. This was a living wild beast, and not an ordinary wild beast. The wild beasts and Zerg that came here were just cannon fodder, but only the elite among the cannon fodder were qualified to participate in the final battle in the burial grounds of the gods. The one in front of him was the elite among the wild beasts, the Wild Beast Emperor. It was a Wild Beast Emperor even more powerful than the Wild Beast King. In the Water God's Palace, among the many ice sculptures, Lin Moyu had seen the ice sculpture of the Wild Beast Emperor, which was exactly the same as the one in front of him. The Wild Beast Emperor was significantly larger than the Wild Beast King, and its height exceeded 100 meters when it stood up. Although it didn't look as good as the Elemental Giant, its strength was much stronger than the Elemental Giant. The pressure of the transcendent god level permeated the air, and inexplicable laws wrapped around its body like armor. However, Lin Moyu sensed weakness from its aura, and the laws were constantly fluctuating, very unstable. It should be seriously injured. After the great battle back then, it was seriously injured and dying, and then fell into a deep sleep. Now, because of me, it has been awakened. So many years have passed, and the injuries have not fully recovered. Through his soul power, Lin Moyu sensed that other laws still remained on the Wild Beast Emperor's body. That was the injury left over from the battle that year, and the alien laws were constantly eroding it. To kill a wild beast, even the most ordinary wild beast, one needed to possess pure power. This pure power was the power close to the law. This was also the reason why Meng Anwen and others could not kill wild beasts before. Later, Yan Guangsheng realized the pure killing intent, stepped into the path of killing intent, and evolved a wisp of the law of killing intent, which could then cause damage to the wild beasts. If it were the Wild Beast King or the Wild Beast Emperor, without the pure and powerful power of the law, it would be impossible to hurt them. The Wild Beast Emperor in front of him was at least a transcendent god rank 6 existence. Lin Moyu felt the pressure. The Wild Beast Emperor pounced over with killing intent. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and the elemental dragon Rex and the other resurrected immediately greeted him. After becoming a resurrected, Rex had recovered his strength to the peak of his life. Lin Moyu didn't know how strong Rex was at his peak, but as long as the elemental dragon was an adult, it was at least a transcendent god level. It shouldn't be too weak. Rex collided with the Wild Beast Emperor, spewing dragon breath, and fought with the Wild Beast King. Rex's size was also incredibly huge, not much worse than the Wild Beast Emperor. The two rolled and tore in the black mist, and it was difficult to tell the winner for a while. The remaining revenants also began to attack, jointly besieging the Wild Beast Emperor. The Wild Beast Emperor roared, spewing out terrifying auras. The auras were not dragon breath, but like sharp swords, piercing through the dark fog of the graveyard. The deep space trembled and shook. The Wild Beast Emperor was very strong, and was not at a disadvantage even when fighting against many. This guy is so strong even with serious injuries, he must have been even stronger in the past. Lin Moyu watched, knowing that Rex, in a one-on-one fight, would not be as good as the Wild Beast Emperor. To be able to survive the great battle back then, it could be seen how strong this Wild Beast Emperor was. Perhaps among the Wild Beast Emperors, it was one of the best. But now, Lin Moyu's eyes flashed with ruthlessness. Perhaps you have no thoughts, but I want you to die at the hands of your own kind. Through the churning black fog, Lin Moyu saw some images. From the direction the Wild Beast Emperor rushed over, there were many bones on the ground. These bones had not rotted, showing their strength before death. But this time, Lin Moyu was going to grind them to dust. Clusters of undead flames exploded in the air, passing through the thick black fog and landing on the white bones. The undead flames burned fiercely, dispelling the thick fog and rendering the graveyard silvery white like daytime. Hundreds of undead flames rose, as if to ignite the entire graveyard. The Zerg and wild beasts were regenerating their flesh and blood, and their souls were being reorganized. The graveyard could be divided into different areas, with the human gods occupying one area, and the Zerg and wild beasts occupying another. The human race had tombstones, which were erected by the final survivors back then. The Zerg and wild beasts had no tombstones, only bones all over the ground. Now these bones had become the targets of Lin Moyu's resurrection. Lin Moyu wanted to make them revenants, killing each other, and eventually turning to ashes. One by one, wild beasts and Zerg were resurrected, and then rushed towards the wild beast emperor, launching a siege. The wild beast emperor was cannon fodder, a combat tool, but it was not without intelligence. Lin Moyu could clearly see the panic in the wild beast emperor's eyes. It might not understand why its subordinates, its own kind, would attack it. Moreover, these guys were clearly dead, how could they be alive again? With its brain, it couldn't figure it out. Various laws, accompanied by huge energy, surged wildly in the burial ground of gods. It was as if the great battle of that year had erupted again. The remnants of the human race and the gods were stunned. They stood there dumbfounded, not knowing what was happening. Boom! The bone pile burying the wild beast and Zerg corpses exploded, and a giant Zerg, shaped like a mantis, over 500 meters long, jumped out from under the corpse. It exuded the aura of a transcendent god, no weaker than the wild beast emperor. There are still some who didn't die. Lin Moyu felt the breath of life from it. It was another Zerg that hadn't died. It seemed that in the great battle back then, although the human race ultimately won, they didn't win completely. At least this mantis giant insect was still alive, and the wild beast emperor was also still alive. Lin Moyu immediately ordered some of the revenants to besiege it. At the same time, a probing technique flew out, and he learned the other party's identity. Open black lens bracket giant blade insect close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket level, transcendent god rank 8 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ability, drives the law of metal element close black lens bracket. The giant blade insect waved a pair of huge and sharp insect feet, instantly cutting off the revenants that were besieging it. For a time, the revenants suffered heavy casualties. However, more revenants came up one after another, killing endlessly. At this time, in the human graveyard, the largest tombstone suddenly flashed. Then the ground behind the tombstone cracked, and a person flew out of the graveyard. He held a large knife, and his body exuded a terrifying aura. You have finally awakened. I have been waiting for many years. This last knife is left for you. The man looked at the wild beast emperor and the giant blade insect, but before he finished speaking, he was suddenly stunned on the spot. He saw countless revenants, besieging the wild beast emperor and the giant blade insect. Was this infighting? Mutual slaughter? He couldn't react for a while, his face full of doubt. Lin Moyu had just seen this tombstone, Tomb of the Human Knife Sovereign. Among all the tombstones, this tombstone was the largest, and it also represented the highest status and strongest strength of the tombstone owner. Unexpectedly, this ancient powerhouse was still alive. When Lin Moyu looked at the Knife Sovereign also looked at Lin Moyu at the same time. Human. The Knife Sovereign looked puzzled. In his eyes, Lin Moyu was shrouded in a faint mist, and he couldn't see his true level. Antares's Dragon Ball concealed all of Lin Moyu's information. Lin Moyu said loudly, Junior Human Lin Moyu, greetings, Senior Knife Sovereign. The Knife Sovereign said strangely, Little guy, do you recognize this sovereign? Lin Moyu said, Junior just saw Senior's tombstone. The corners of the Knife Sovereign's mouth twitched twice. This sounded strange no matter how he heard it. But he wouldn't dwell on these trivial matters. Are you from the human world? Lin Moyu nodded. That's right, Junior came here to clean up their remnants, but I didn't expect that in the great battle, there were still survivors among the Zerg and wild beasts. The Knife Sovereign said, they were seriously injured and fell asleep back then. This sovereign has been waiting until now, just to leave the last knife for them, to eliminate future troubles forever. Lin Moyu's eyes swept over the Knife Sovereign. Senior, keep this knife, leave them to Junior to solve. Chapter 802 That battle, it really should end. The Knife Sovereign looked at Lin Moyu, his eyes full of appreciation. He could indeed keep this knife. The wild beast emperor and the giant blade insect were indeed very strong, but they had been seriously injured and had been sleeping for many years, and had not yet recovered. Now they were being besieged by their own kind, and their defeat was inevitable. The Knife Sovereign was very curious, but he didn't ask. Every professional has their own particularities, not to mention, he didn't need to ask much about his situation. Lin Moyu could actually see that the Knife Sovereign was already dead. He just knew that the wild beast emperor had not died, and kept the last knife to deal with them. If the Knife Sovereign was still alive, he would have already killed them. There was a very clear line between the two graveyard areas. One side was the territory of the human race and the gods. The other side was the territory of the wild beasts and Zergs. After death, the remnants of both sides fought for countless years. Lin Mo Yu checked the battle situation, knowing that the overall situation was set, and it was only a matter of time before the Wild Beast Emperor and the giant blade insect were destroyed. He turned to look at the Knife Sovereign. Junior has some questions to ask. I wonder if it is convenient for you. The Knife Sovereign laughed. What's inconvenient? Just ask. The Knife Sovereign seemed to be very optimistic about Lin Mo Yu, this junior. Lin Mo directly said, back then, the gods were plotted against, our race fought with our backs to the water. Junior sees that the strength of both sides is very different. How did we win? Having seen these revenants, thousands of half-step transcendent gods, and dozens of transcendent god rank. The strength of the wild beasts and Zerg is much greater than that of the human race. Logically speaking, this battle was without suspense, and the human race was bound to lose. But in the end, the human race won. The belief of the human race is beyond doubt. The will of the world used the power of the world, which was also a major reason. Antares took action, but not much. It was not a decisive factor in determining victory. In addition to this, Lin Moi felt that there were deeper reasons. Dao Zun took a deep look at Lin Moi. It's very good that you can think of these things. There are indeed some other reasons. We obtained a batch of equipment and some magical pills. Lin Moi was slightly stunned. Equipment? Pills? Dao Zun nodded. That's right. A batch of super god level equipment, and the quality is very high, which can allow our strength to be exerted extraordinarily. Lin Moi looked at the broadsword inserted in Dao Zun's hand, and the sword used by Jian Zun. At that time, he suspected that the remnant soul could still use the real sword, so this sword should be very unusual. Dao Zun guessed what Lin Moi was thinking. You're right, it's the weapons in our hands. These weapons are very powerful and can multiply our power. For example, I am only at the 6th level of the Super God Realm, but with it, I can exert the combat power of the 8th level of the Super God Realm. Increase by 2 levels. That's really strong. Lin Moi took a deep breath. The gap between these 2 levels is quite large. It's hard to imagine not being at the Super God level. Lin Moi had personally experienced Antares, starting from the 1st level of the Super God Realm and gradually increasing his strength, until he directly reached the 9th level of the Super God Realm, and then to the True God level. He knew every level of the gap like the back of his hand. A 2-level difference is like the difference between level 80 and level 90, and it is even so large that it is difficult to make up for with quantity. Dao Zun said, just like this wild beast emperor and the giant blade insect, their strength is at the 8th level of the Super God Realm. Without weapons, I am not their opponent. The meaning in the words is that the human race was able to win, and this batch of weapons made a great contribution. Not just 1 or 2 pieces, but a whole batch. In addition to weapons, what are the pills that Senior mentioned? Lin Moi continued to ask. Dao Zun said, pills are just as important as weapons. Pills have improved our strength. Before I took the pills, I was only at the 4th level of the Super God Realm. Even with weapons, I could only exert the combat power of the 7th level of the Super God Realm. After taking the pills, I reached the 6th level of the Super God Realm, and with the weapons, I was able to reach the combat power of the 8th level of the Super God Realm. It's not just me, there are many people, we all rely on pills to improve our strength. Lin Moi asked, pills that can improve strength so quickly should have side effects, right? That's right, that is, you will never be able to break through the Super God Realm in the future. But is this important? As long as we can win this battle, what about the future? If we lose this battle, what are we talking about the future? Dao Zun chuckled, he didn't care about this, he was extremely free and easy. Lin Moi sighed softly, as expected. How could such a powerful pill have no side effects? While improving strength, it cuts off the road to the future. The sacrifice is too great. Which strong person doesn't hope that they can forge ahead and constantly climb to the peak? However, in front of the human race and their homeland, Dao Zun and the others resolutely gave up their future, just to exchange it for the present strength. Indeed, as Dao Zun said, if that battle was lost, what about the future? Lin Moi respectfully bowed to Dao Zun, Jr., on behalf of all the human race, thank all the seniors. This bow is not only to Dao Zun, but also to all the tombstones, all the people and gods who sacrificed for this world. Dao Zun chuckled, fortunately, we won. Those guys from outside the sky plotted against us back then, but fortunately, someone secretly helped us. Zero ask for flowers 0. Lin Moi knew that the origin of these weapons and pills must be extraordinary. Antares is so poor, Even if dragon scales can be made into weapons, he definitely can't take out those pills. Thinking about it this way, this kind of help can only come from outside the world. According to this calculation, there are also people in the great world helping them. It should be the human race in the great world. In the great world, the human race is also a very powerful race, not weaker than any race. Although this world was used as a pawn, the human race still intervened. Dao Zun said with a smile, "Young man, tell me about the current situation of the human race." After that battle, I slept, and I don't know how long I slept. Okay, Lin Moi immediately told Dao Zun about the current situation of the human race. The human race's experience in the past 1,000 years has been full of ups and downs, and Dao Zun's face has changed several times. During the narration, the great battle came to an end. The wild beast emperor was finally killed and completely dismembered. The giant blade insect also ended up in the same fate, being beaten into pieces by its own kind, with corpses everywhere. Lin Moi turned a blind eye to this, and did not stop his narration, but casually ejected a spark. The spark exploded and landed on the wild beast emperor and the giant blade insect respectively. The resurrected wild beast emperor was extremely respectful to Lin Moi, kneeling on the ground, motionless. Dao Zun couldn't help but sigh at Lin Moi's magic, which could actually revive the dead, and make them obey his orders. Fortunately, Lin Moi is a human race. If it were another race, he would revive himself and make himself obey the other party's orders. Just thinking about it, Dao Zun felt a chill in his remnant soul. Lin Moi finally finished telling the history of the human race, and Dao Zun sighed softly. I didn't expect that the human race would also be plagued by disasters afterwards. What's wrong with those races from outside the sky? They all take a fancy to our world and come one after another. What exactly attracts them to this world? Lin Moi didn't say anything, some words don't need to be said. Dao Zun suddenly laughed loudly, but this is also good, at least my human race has survived to the present, and a genius like you has emerged from the human race. I have a hunch that the human race has no worries. Don't worry, senior, the human race has no worries. Lin Moi's words were firm and decisive. Dao Zun laughed loudly. At this moment, he was relieved. That great battle is really over now. He had been fighting all his life, and after his death, it was really time to end. 4. Chapter 803 Smoke disappears, Gift of the Sages. A large number of wild beasts and Zerg rushed out of the burial god land and ran in all directions. They will become Lin Moi's eyes, looking for a path for Lin Moi. The entire burial god land is shining brightly. Dao Zun's soul power slowly flowed, awakening one powerful will after another. This battle is over, the remnant souls don't need to appear anymore, they should rest. The former gods, the predecessors of the human race, who have been fighting for countless years should rest. Dao Zun was one of the leaders of that great battle. Under his call, the wills of the human race powerhouses awakened one after another. They turned into white light and gradually dissipated into the air. The remnant souls dissipated. This is a true liberation. Lin Moi received one will after another. These former powerhouses of the human race were actually expressing their gratitude to Lin Moi. These wills also carried some past scenes. Lin Moi seemed to have become a participant in that great battle, watching one flesh and blood battle after another. Unknowingly, his eyes became moist. 757, an unprecedented shock filled his heart. Lin Moi was infected by their will, which was an unimaginable belief. Lin Moi never thought of being a savior. People are selfish, and he is no exception. But those predecessors of the human race in their wills were all selfless. In their eyes, there was only great love, love for the human world. Lin Mo would not say something like, I will protect the world from now on. He knew what he should and shouldn't do, he had his own beliefs and would not be influenced by anyone. After its extreme brilliance, the land of buried gods completely disappeared. The earth became empty, and the black mist that had shrouded it all year round also disappeared. Even the sky seemed a little clearer. Lin Mo once again saw the towering sword-like mountain standing in front of the land of buried gods. The mountain was not wide, but it was high. It looked like a long spear, standing upright between heaven and earth. Even with Lin Mo's eyesight, he couldn't see the top. This mountain was at least 100,000 meters high. Lin Mo always felt that this spear was a bit unusual. The previous memories flashed through his mind, and he slowly uttered 4 words, slaughtering desolate spear sovereign. Among the many tombstones just now, there was one tombstone second only to the Knife Sovereign. The tombstone was engraved with the 4 characters, Slaughtering Desolate Spear Sovereign, which was different from the Knife Sovereign, Sword Sovereign, Fist Sovereign, etc. Lin Mo Yu guessed that in that world, the transcendent god level was addressed as sovereign. And there were certain rules, it was not randomly chosen. But the Slaughtering Desolate Spear Sovereign was different, indicating that he used a spear as his weapon. But at the last moment, most of the remnant souls of the human race's strongmen manifested and passed away, except for him. Based on the position of the Slaughtering Desolate Spear Sovereign's tombstone, his strength could be judged. Even if he died in battle, he should have left behind a remnant soul. Looking at the 100,000-meter-high mountain in front of him, Lin Mo Yu rapidly flew upwards. The wings of the undead vibrated, rapidly ascending tens of thousands of meters. Finally, he saw the top. Lin Mo Yu's speed suddenly increased, and he quickly flew to the top. Desolate beast. This was not a mountain, but a long spear. The tip of the spear was extremely sharp, standing upright towards the sky, as if to pierce through it. On top of the spear tip, a desolate beast emperor was impaled through its body and died on the spearhead. Judging from its size, this desolate beast emperor was even more powerful than the one that awakened in the cemetery. Lin Mo Yu's eyes flickered, and he quickly understood the most likely thing that had happened. It should be the leader of the desolate beasts, the most powerful one. The Slaughtering Desolate Spear Sovereign used his life to perish together with it. So he had a unique title, the Breaking Desolate Spear Sovereign. It was a true mutual destruction, even the remnant soul was annihilated. This spear should be a transcendent god-level weapon, a very precious weapon sent by the great world for the human race at that time. But Lin Mo Yu did not touch it, but let it stay here. This spear could be seen as a monument to the unyielding will of this world. On the original land of buried gods, there were scattered piles of weapons, all transcendent god-level weapons once used by the human race's virtuous predecessors. Lin Mo Yu collected all these weapons and brought them back to the human race, which could greatly increase the human race's combat power. Lin Mo Yu respectfully saluted the Breaking Heaven Spear Sovereign's spear to bid farewell. Suddenly, the spear burst into brilliant light, and the corpse of the desolate beast emperor pierced by the spear tip melted like ice and snow. 2 soul essences flew into Lin Mo Yu's soul world one after the other, and at the same time, a voice roared. "Thank you, young friend, for helping us to be free. This sovereign has nothing to give, so I will give you the soul of this beast and the soul of this sovereign." Lin Mo Yu's body trembled violently, and he finally understood. The Breaking Desolate Spear Sovereign did not die, but instead locked his soul into the spear, fighting a great battle with the soul of the Desolate Beast Emperor. He did not know how long he fought, but in the end, the Breaking Desolate Spear Sovereign won, but the Breaking Desolate Spear Sovereign's body was destroyed, and his soul was also incomplete, and he could no longer escape from this spear. Once he escaped, it would be a true death. Over the years, he had seen everything that had happened in the land of buried gods. He was clear about Lin Mo Yu's appearance and the relief and liberation of everyone in the land of buried gods. With this voice, the last will of the Breaking Desolate Spear Sovereign also disappeared, or it could be said that he was completely free. My soul. Lin Mo Yu then realized that his soul quality had greatly improved. Originally, his soul had entered the second stage, as if wearing a layer of bronze armor. Now this layer of bronze armor was brighter and more powerful, and a golden light faintly appeared on it. The quality of the soul was greatly improved silently, and it was not far from the peak of the second grade. Lin Mo Yu was moved. When the human race's virtuous predecessors bid farewell, they gave their soul essence to him. This shows that they no longer had any attachments to this world and could truly leave with peace of mind. The trip to the land of buried gods ended successfully, and Lin Mo Yu was satisfied with the result. But the trip to the deep space was not really over yet. The quality of his soul had not yet been improved to the peak of the second grade, and it was still a little short. Only when he reached the peak of the second grade could he be 100% sure of bringing out all of his talents. There could not be any mistakes in this matter. From Antares, Lin Mo Yu learned something about the deep space. The deep space was a part of the ancient battlefield, and it was the oldest part of history. In the last era, many great battles broke out here, and many strongmen fell here. In addition to the land of buried gods, there are still many remnant souls of strongmen in the deep space. Lin Mo Yu wanted to obtain the remnant souls to improve his soul quality. In addition, there was also a very important thing that he could try to find if he had the opportunity this time. That was the world core that Zhang Yi wanted to obtain the most. It was said to be the core left behind after a small world was destroyed, and it still contained the essence of the small world. It was a true god-level treasure. Moreover, if Lin Moyu wanted to become the master of the world, this world core was also very important. So it was possible that he would have to find it this time. Lin Moyu did not know how to find it. Antares mysteriously kept him in suspense, saying that Lin Moyu would naturally know. Lin Moyu remembered Antares's wicked smile at the time. This guy definitely had no good intentions. At this time, a large number of elemental giants and insectoid desolate beasts were paving the way for Lin Moyu, acting as eyes. The map of the deep space was becoming more and more detailed. What monsters were in which places, what the approximate level of the monsters was, and whether there were any particularly dangerous places were all explored. In the process of exploration, elemental giants of level 97 continued to fall. Lin Moyu also saw many magical monster areas. Suddenly, a message came. The leader of the elemental giants suddenly lost contact. The loss of a semi-transcendent god-level being appeared. With a thought, a transcendent god-level desolate beast changed direction and rushed towards the scene of the accident. Chapter 804. The World Core, Another World. Lin Moyu did not want to take risks unless it was absolutely necessary. It was not cowardice, but his strength was not enough to deal with all the dangers. There were dangerous places in the deep space that might not be able to kill him, but could very likely trap him. Even if Antares could pull himself out, it would cost him something. Antares seemed to have some limitations, unable to act arbitrarily in the deep space. Soon, that transcendent level wild beast arrived at the place where the elemental giant leader had disappeared. Then, it too disappeared. It vanished silently, completely losing contact. Strange. Lin Mo then sent another transcendent level wild beast over. This time, it didn't go to the accident site, but stopped about 1,000 meters away. Looking down from a high position, the accident site was a plain, with nothing there. When the wild beast slowly approached, nothing happened. Until it crossed the 1,000-meter distance and entered the accident site, the wild beast disappeared without a trace. Desperate counterattack. Lin Mo became somewhat interested. Whether it was a desperate situation or not, he had to see it for himself to be sure. After all, what he saw through the wild beast's perspective was different from what he saw with his own eyes. The wings of the undead shook, instantly looking towards that place. The map of the deep space in his mind was already quite detailed. With the area where Lin Mo entered the deep space as the center, he divided and marked the deep space according to the concentration of elemental laws. Lin Mo divided it very carefully, starting from the safest level 90 area, increasing level by level, up to the level 98 area. Then there was the level 99, half-step transcendent area. After that, there was the transcendent level area. The meaning of the transcendent level area was that it could pose a danger to transcendent level beings. Lin Mo believed that his map was definitely the most detailed map of the deep space among the human race. Most of the human race's strong individuals, after entering the deep space, mostly operated in the level 90 to 95 areas. They would rarely even enter the level 96 area, let alone those higher and more dangerous areas. The area Lin Mo had just entered was the level 96 area. Then the area where he encountered the elemental giant belonged to the level 97 area. The burial ground of gods was located at the junction of the level 99 area and the transcendent level area. The Dragon Emperor had fallen in this area. Now, the area where the elemental giant leader had the accident was located northwest of Lin Mo, also belonging to the junction of level 99 and transcendent level. This method of dividing areas based on the concentration of elemental laws was not completely accurate, but it was sufficient. The wings of the undead shook several times, and Lin Mo had crossed thousands of kilometers, appearing on the periphery of the accident site. Only 100 meters away from the accident site, looking down from the air, it was exactly the same as what he had seen before, with no difference. The earth was very quiet, looking very peaceful, with no danger. The fact was, Lin Mo indeed did not feel any danger. The power of the soul flowed slowly, replacing the eyes. Sometimes, watching with the soul was better than using the eyes. When the power of the soul flowed through 100 meters, it suddenly encountered an obstacle. Like an invisible wall, it blocked the power of the soul. No matter how hard he tried, the power of the soul could not pass through. The power of the soul spread upwards, and Lin Mo also flew up, discovering that this wall seemed infinitely high. He had already flown to an altitude of hundreds of thousands of meters, but still had not reached the end. Lin Mo gave up the idea of entering from high altitude, and checked the side of the invisible high wall. He knew that the invisible high wall could not extend infinitely, and there would be an end. The reality was not quite what he thought. Lin Mo walked around the invisible high wall, and finally returned to the starting point. The invisible high wall surrounded this area into a circle, a large circle with a diameter of about 100 kilometers. This large circle confined this piece of heaven and earth within it, like a formation, forming an independent world. Is it a formation or something else? Guessing alone would not get him the answer. Lin Mo pointed his finger towards the sky, and the eye of the undead suddenly opened. The projection of the undead world was also blocked outside by the high wall. It seems that it does not block entities, only blocks energy from entering. Lin Mo connected to the perspective of the eye of the undead, but it had no effect. Moreover, the eye of the undead could not attack, indicating that there were no souls or anything like that within this high wall. Without souls, it was not a living thing. Then a skeleton god warrior appeared beside Lin Mo, and walked in with a cracking sound. The undead and the resurrected are different. If the resurrected encountered danger, the result would be annihilation. In Lin Mo's view, it was a complete loss of contact, or a sudden disappearance. Lin Mo could not use this to determine whether the resurrected were alive or dead. It was different with skeletons. If a skeleton died, the passive spell Undying Undead would be activated. Lin Mo could sense it. The skeleton god warrior disappeared from sight. It successfully walked in. The invisible high wall blocked souls, blocked various elemental laws, but it just didn't block physical objects. The skeleton god warrior lost contact with him the moment it went in. The Undying Undead spell was not activated, indicating that the skeleton god warrior did not encounter danger. Lin Mo gave the skeleton god warrior the command to continue walking forward after entering, without stopping. He believed that the skeleton god warrior would not stop. After waiting for a long time, Undying Undead still had not been triggered, indicating that the skeleton god warrior was not in danger inside. Lin Mo was still not at ease, and summoned another batch of skeletons, entering from all directions. After testing for half a day, Undying Undead still had not been triggered. Lin Mo tried to summon a new skeleton god warrior, and found that the quota was full, and he could not summon it. In this case, Lin Mo could almost be sure that there should be no danger inside the wall. Otherwise, all these thousands of skeletons could not be safe. Fortune favors the bold. Taking a deep breath, Lin Mo strode into it. The moment he stepped into it, his vision changed. Before his eyes was a chaotic and disordered color. Color was the manifestation of laws. Each color represented a law. Some Lin Mo had seen, some he had not seen. It was very chaotic, with no order at all. Then, various chaotic elemental laws and disordered auras surrounded his entire body. He was like a puppet, motionless, as if he had been forcibly paused. These chaotic elemental laws began to enter his body, and he still could not move, he could only passively accept it. His soul was thinking, trying to find answers, wanting to know what had happened. But there were no answers, not a single answer. This situation lasted for a full 10 minutes, first his fingers regained a little sensation. Then it spread to other limbs, and after another 10 minutes, Lin Mo found that he could move. It was just that there was still a lot of resistance in his movements, as if he was trapped in a quagmire. The quagmire here was the ubiquitous elements and laws. Lin Mo felt the changes in his body. The elemental laws that had entered his body seemed to be helping him adapt to this world. Lin Mo was suddenly shocked. He realized where this place was. Then his whole person became excited. It's the world core. The world core has formed an independent space. All the chaotic elemental laws here are left over from the destruction of the previous world. This is another world, an independent world. I've searched far and wide, yet it was right under my nose. Lin Mo clenched his fist, expressing his inner excitement. No wonder Antares said that as long as he saw it, he would definitely know. It really is like this. Chapter 805. Strange Black Light, Cleaning Up Remnant Souls. Different worlds naturally have different laws and different situations. When Lin Mo first entered here, the first thing he had to do was adapt. The elemental laws automatically entering his body was a passive form of adaptation. As time went on, his body and soul would adapt to this world, and his mobility would also recover. Here, Lin Mo sensed the skeletons that had entered earlier. They were safe. However, Lin Mo did not sense the elemental giant leader who had entered the earliest. Several desolate beasts that entered later were still there, only the elemental giant leader disappeared. This situation made Lin Mo vigilant. Suddenly, the spell star representing undead spirit trembled slightly. A skeleton died. It was the first skeleton that entered, it died. The undead spirit spell was triggered. Lin Mo could either revive it on the spot or choose to have it return to the spell star. Without hesitation, Lin Mo chose to revive it on the spot, while connecting his vision to it. His eyes went dark, the skeleton died again, and undead spirit was triggered again. Lin Mo immediately chose to revive it again, while still connecting to it. His eyes were still dark, the skeleton died again. The third revival, the third connection. This time, Lin Mo finally saw what it was a black light. The black light flashed past, and the skeleton god warrior died on the spot. The black light's attack power exceeded the limit of the skeleton god warrior, and even the fully connected talent was not triggered. This time, Lin Mo let the skeleton god warrior return to the spell star. Now that he had seen it clearly, dying more would be useless. He didn't know what the black light was, but Lin Mo knew it was very dangerous. It was estimated that the elemental giant leader was also killed by it in all likelihood. Without rashly advancing, Lin Mo began to adapt to the situation here. It wasn't just him who had to adapt, the undead legion also had to adapt. While waiting, Lin Mo constantly connected to the perspectives of various skeletons and revenants. He saw the black light again. The black light would suddenly disappear in a certain place, then stay for a while, and then suddenly disappear. After a long period of observation, Lin Mo was very sure that the appearance of the black light was irregular. Where it appeared was completely unpredictable. The skeletons were small, so they had a lower chance of encountering the black light. However, creatures like the elemental giant leader and desolate beasts were larger, so the probability of encountering it was much higher. Moreover, the closer to the center point, the higher the frequency of the black light's appearance. In addition to this, Lin Mo also saw many corpses. These corpses were strange and varied. Lin Mo couldn't determine whether the corpses were native monsters from the deep space before they died, or visitors from the great world. Back then, it was impossible for only Zhang Yi to see this piece of the world core falling into the deep space. Therefore, anything was possible. After 3 days, Lin Mo finally fully adapted to the environment here. Elemental laws had filled every corner of his body. The undead legion could also operate normally. It was also time to set off. In these few days, Lin Mo had constantly sent out skeletons and had walked all over the periphery of this world. This independent world derived from the world core had a larger internal space than what could be seen from the outside. The outside only occupied a circular space with a diameter of 100 kilometers. But inside, it was at least several thousand kilometers, like a continent. The initial 1,000 kilometers were safe zones, without any danger. After 1,000 kilometers, black light would appear. The closer to the center of the world, the higher the frequency of the black light's appearance, and the more dangerous it became. Lin Mo advanced towards the center of the world. The wings of the undead vibrated slightly, and in the blink of an eye, he had crossed over 1,000 kilometers. Through the chaotic colors, Lin Mo personally saw the black light. The black light flickered in the air, then stayed for a few seconds to a dozen seconds, before disappearing again and appearing in other places. What exactly is this black light? Lin Mo put on the bone armor and flew over. The wings of the undead vibrated again. Lin Mo transformed into a stream of light, flying towards the core area of the world. The appearance of the black light was irregular. There was no point in walking slowly here, it was better to go to the core at the fastest speed. Soul power flowed, the speed of the wings of the undead was astonishing, in the blink of an eye, it was thousands of kilometers. Suddenly, a black light happened to appear on Lin Mo's flight path. The black light appeared very suddenly, Lin Jiu didn't have time to dodge and crashed into it. White light flashed on Lin Mo's body, the bone armor was activated, and then collapsed instantly. The wings of the undead were cut off, a white light flashed on Lin Mo's body, and he crossed the black light. Then Lin Mo quickly stopped. Seemingly unharmed, but the undead legion collectively collapsed. Undead spirit was triggered, and the undead legion was reborn in the spell star. The black light just now possessed at least the attack power of a true god second order. Moreover, it possessed laws, very powerful laws. Neither elemental resistance nor physical resistance played a role. The bone armor shattered, but it did not trigger a spell linkage. This shows that the black light is not an object that can be attacked. What exactly is the origin of this black light? Why is its attack power so amazing? The attack power of the true God Second Order is almost invincible in the deep space, and no one can stop it. Just as Lin Mo stopped, he suddenly heard a sharp sound. A blue light shot like an arrow from not far away. Lin Mo saw clearly at a glance that the blue light was a remnant soul. Judging from the strength of the remnant soul, it should have been a super god level existence before its death. After dying here, its soul didn't completely dissipate, and eventually became a remnant soul. The remnant soul is full of resentment, devoid of reason, and only has the instinct to kill. Obviously, it's extremely unwilling to have died here. Lin Moyu tapped his finger lightly. Fusion spell, time curse. Besides the Eye of the Undead, this is the best spell to deal with remnant souls. Under the triple curse, the remnant soul immediately let out a miserable scream, and its speed suddenly slowed down. Flames first burst into flames on the remnant soul, and then emitted a green light. The flames and green light flickered continuously on the remnant soul, and time flowed extremely fast. For it, a long time passed in this instant. Finally, the remnant soul turned into ashes with a bang, leaving behind the last essence of the soul, which was absorbed by Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu stood in midair overlooking the earth, and through the mottled colors, he saw many bones on the earth from the gaps in the streamers. These bones were not weak before they were alive, and many bones still had remnants of soul aura. These are all remnant souls, good things that can improve the quality of the soul. Lin Moyu flew over slowly, and the aura of a living person immediately attracted the attention of the remnant souls. Streams of resentful, irrational remnant souls rushed towards Lin Moyu. The projection of the undead world descended, and a huge Eye of the Undead appeared in the air. The Eye of the Undead stared at these remnant souls, delivering the final fatal blow to them. Even if they were super gods before their death, they cannot escape the gaze of the Eye of the Undead after becoming remnant souls. Lin Moyu discovered that the remnant souls here were full of resentment. It seemed that they were very unwilling to die. This was very strange, and he didn't know why. He walked towards the core, collecting a large number of remnant souls along the way and absorbing the essence of the soul. The quality of the soul began to gradually improve, and the golden light on the copper helmet and iron armor became more and more intense. When the golden light completely surrounded the copper helmet and iron armor, the soul could reach the peak of the second grade 3. As for the third grade soul, the difficulty is too great, and Lin Moyu has not considered it yet. Chapter 806, People from the Great World. The golden light on the soul body became stronger and stronger, gradually beginning to cover the whole body, and the copper helmet and iron armor became golden. It's getting closer and closer to the peak of the second grade. Suddenly, a black light appeared silently and passed across Lin Moyu's body. The bone armor flickered and shattered instantly. The undead army in the magic star also collapsed. Lin Moyu reacted extremely quickly, and after being damaged by the black light for the first time, he immediately dodged to the side. This only caused one instance of damage. As long as it's not continuous damage, it doesn't matter. Although the black light attack is strong, it doesn't have the ability to track souls. Lin Moyu knew that as long as he dodged fast enough, he would only take 1 or 2 instances of damage at most, so there was no need to worry. The cooldown time of Undead is 3 minutes, and you can die 5 times in 3 minutes. Plus the aura of the Undead Lich, the talent will be activated on the 7th time. Then you will have 7 more chances. The talent will be reset after 1 minute, and then you will have 7 more chances. In this cycle, as long as you are not killed 14 times in a row within 1 minute, you will not really die. Lin Moyu's advantage lies here, his ability to save his life is extremely strong. As Lin Moyu approached the core, the frequency and density of the black light increased greatly. In sight, black lights flashed continuously, appearing randomly in every corner. Because there is no 793 pattern to speak of, Lin Moyu can only adapt to the situation. Try not to be attacked continuously. Since the frequency of black light increased, the bones on the earth have become less. As the bones decreased, the quality of the remnant souls was rising sharply. Before, they were only half-step super gods, or super god first order and second order remnant souls. But now, the quality of the remnant souls has risen to the 5th rank of super gods. Even the Eye of the Undead began to be a little strenuous, and Lin Moyu had to use time curses to attack. The higher the level of the remnant soul, the higher the quality of the soul essence left behind, and the effect on improving the quality of the soul is far greater than that of low-level remnant souls. As the quality of the soul gets closer and closer to the peak of the second grade, the requirements for the essence of the soul are also increasing. At first, he pursued quantity, but now he is pursuing quality. Along the way, I don't know how many remnant souls have been destroyed, at least hundreds. It's always a little short of the peak of the second grade. Each remnant soul represents a strong person, and some bones do not have remnant souls left. Lin Moyu believed that some of these bones must be from the great world. They came here, also wanting to get the core of the world. The treasure of the true God level is quite tempting. Lin Moyu has been attacked by the black light no less than 10 times, and Lin Moyu can react quickly every time, only taking one attack. For some reason, Lin Moyu's heart became a little irritable. He unconsciously sped up, wanting to reach the end quickly and obtain the core of the world. The black light flashed again, but Lin Moyu seemed to feel nothing, and the undead army collectively collapsed and regenerated instantly. Then the second attack came, and the undead army collapsed again. Lin Moyu then reacted and moved out of the attack range of the black light. The black light is still the same black light, there is no change. The change is himself. Lin Moyu realized that something was wrong with him. An inexplicable irritability emerged, reducing his reaction speed. In the irritability, there was even a trace of resentment towards this world, and also resentment towards the irregular black light. Could it be that the resentment in those remnant souls came from this way? The remnant souls were all killed by the black light before they were alive, and their bodies would still be attacked by the black light after death, and they would be torn to pieces in the long time. The black light carried inexplicable irritability from the bones to the remnant souls, so every remnant soul was full of resentment. The resentment comes from the black light, and the black light comes from the core of the world. The core of the world is the destroyed world. The world has a will, and it is full of resentment towards its own destruction. Lin Moyu felt that he had found the root of the problem. Suddenly, he had a feeling of enlightenment. The root of everything is still in the core of the world. Now that he knows, he is not afraid. The unknown is the most terrifying. The soul moved slightly, erasing some emotions that shouldn't be there. The whole person returned to a state of clear thinking and set off again. The black light became more and more dense, and later, there would be black light every few steps. Either block the way, or directly appear on Lin Moyu. The frequency of attacks from the DADG increased rapidly. Lin Mo slowed down and adjusted his pace. Sometimes, to account for the cooldown time of his spells, Lin Mo would stay in place for a few minutes. But sometimes, even when standing still, he would be attacked by the black light. And so, Lin Mo stopped and started, covering several hundred more kilometers. Adding it all up, I've walked nearly 3,000 kilometers, I should be close. Lin Mo calculated the distance he had traveled, and based on his estimation of this special world, he should be nearing the end. Suddenly, Lin Mo's nose twitched slightly. A faint fragrance drifted in. The fragrance entered his nostrils, permeated his soul world, and even his soul could smell it. So fragrant. The moment his soul smelled the fragrance, it jolted awake, and his thoughts became incredibly clear. Just as a black light formed in front of him, Lin Mo reacted quickly, immediately dodging to the side. But he was still a step too slow and was hit by the black light. The Undead Legion didn't know if it was the first time they had collapsed. Lin Mo realized that his reaction speed had indeed increased, and the reason for the increase was this fragrance. Lin Mo searched for the source of the fragrance and finally found it. His eyes narrowed sharply. There was someone here. Lin Mo was shocked, there was actually a person here. It was definitely a human. Lin Mo trusted his senses and wouldn't be mistaken. And it was a woman, a very powerful woman. The aura emanating from her had already reached the 8th or even 9th rank of the transcendent god realm. She noticed Lin Mo's gaze and turned to look at him. When she saw Lin Mo, surprise also flashed in her eyes. This woman was beautiful, no less so than Lillian. Moreover, due to her strength, she exuded an extraordinary aura, full of charm. Lin Mo was certain that he had never met her before. Suddenly, black light appeared around the woman. Careful, Lin Mo shouted instinctively. The woman had already noticed the black light, and with a step, she easily avoided it. This speed far surpassed Lin Mo's. Then, with another step, Lin Mo's vision blurred, and the woman was already in front of him. Lin Mo looked at her, and she looked at Lin Mo, neither seeming to want to speak first. Lin Mo speculated about her identity. Although she didn't speak, her clothing alone provided a clue. Her attire was completely different from that of the humans in this world. It was also different from that of the ancient humans. It was somewhat similar to the Taoist robes of Hua Sha in his previous life. However, it was more exquisite, and the patterns embroidered on it were lifelike, as if they were alive. From this, it could be judged that this woman was either from the previous era of humans or from the humans of the Great World. Seeing that Lin Mo didn't speak, the woman frowned slightly. "Are you a human from this world?" Lin Mo nodded. "Are you from the Great World?" The woman looked slightly surprised. "You actually know about the Great World?" "I know a little." Chapter 807. I hope to see you again. The simple exchange confirmed Lin Mo's guess about her origin. This woman was from the Great World. Lin Mo knew that there were some connections between the deep space and the Great World. Otherwise, the deep space wouldn't have become the great battlefield back then. Even in the previous era, countless battles had taken place in the deep space. But not everyone could enter the deep space casually. Zhang Yi had failed to enter the deep space. She looked at Lin Mo, and because of the Dragon Pearl, Lin Mo was shrouded in a mysterious aura that she couldn't see through. "You should be the strongest person in this world, right?" Her voice was somewhat cold, without any sense of superiority. Lin Mo replied calmly, "More or less. Being able to get here means your strength is not bad, but don't go any further." She wasn't ordering Lin Mo to do anything but was speaking in a very calm tone, as if stating a fact. Lin Mo looked towards the center, where the world core was located. Through the mottled colors, Lin Mo saw a large amount of black light. The closer to the world core, the denser the black light became. But for him, the black light alone was not enough to threaten him. Unless there was something more dangerous. A hint of confusion and incomprehension appeared in Lin Mo's eyes. The woman explained, "The power of the light of destruction will greatly increase as you approach the core, and the frequency and density of its appearance will also increase significantly. Only by reaching the 9th rank of the Transcendent God realm, coupled with some special methods, will you have a chance to evolve successfully. As fellow humans, I don't want you to go to your death. It's not easy for a strong person to emerge from a small world, and I hope you can live to enter the great world and see the true vastness." There was no malice in her words, but rather a hint of sincerity. So this black light is called the light of destruction. Lin Mo realized the true name of the black light. The woman showed a look of confirmation. The light of destruction is composed of the law of destruction and possesses the ability to destroy everything. The world core doesn't want to be obtained, so it uses the light of destruction to protect itself. Even the light of destruction released by the core of a small world still possesses the attack power of a second-rank true god. You can't withstand it. Moreover, the destruction of a world, along with the death of all the creatures within it, will produce an astonishing amount of resentment. This resentment is also integrated into the light of destruction, and being attacked by the light of destruction will also affect the soul, causing it to become full of resentment. You should have encountered many remnant souls along the way, and these remnant souls are all full of resentment. What she said was indeed the same as what Lin Mo had seen. So the light of destruction actually had such an origin, fusing the law of destruction and the world's resentment. While possessing astonishing attack power, it could also affect the soul and mind. "Thank you." Lin Mo sincerely thanked the woman. She accepted it calmly and produced an object in her hand. "Take this, it will be useful when you truly enter the great world." It was a small jade pendant, very delicate and of excellent quality. Lin Mo felt the flow of elements and faint laws from the jade pendant. The fact that the jade pendant contained laws indicated that it was not an ordinary item. Lin Mo asked, "How do you know that I am from a small world?" The woman seemed to have heard a very interesting question and smiled. "People from small worlds are different from people from the great world. You will know when you enter the great world in the future. I hope you can find your way out as soon as possible." Hearing her words, it seemed she intended to leave, and Lin Mo was slightly puzzled. "Aren't you going to continue?" This place was already very close to the world core. With a little more effort, she might succeed. Moreover, this woman's strength is at least at the 8th rank of Transcendent God, giving her a full opportunity. The woman shook her head. "Treasures are destined for those who are meant to have them, and I am not meant for it. Years have passed, and I have wasted too much time here. Listen to me, your strength is indeed good, but now is not the time. Wait until you enter the great world in the future, and return after your strength has improved, then you will be sure to obtain the world core. You are a person of this world, with the mark of this world. It will be easier for you to return than for us. That's all I have to say. I hope to see you in the great world." After the woman finished speaking, her whole body emitted a faint light, and then quickly disappeared. She left decisively, without any hesitation. Lin Mo watched her disappear with his own eyes, thinking about what she had just said. This woman is from the great world. And she possesses at least the strength of the 8th rank of Transcendent God. Her own strength is not low. The key is that she is very young. Lin Mo feels that she is not much older than himself. It is inaccurate to judge age from appearance alone, but Lin Mo has a feeling that she is not very old. Moreover, being able to enter the deep space and come here is not something that ordinary transcendent gods can do. Lin Mo guessed that behind her, there should be a force. She just said that she hopes to see me in the great world. That means as long as I live and enter the great world, she will know and will definitely be able to see me. If she doesn't see me, it means I died here, or I couldn't find a way out. 0 asking for fresh flowers 0. Why is she so confident? Is it because of this? Lin Mo looked at the jade pendant in his hand. The jade pendant was carved vividly and was very delicate. The picture shows a small valley. Wind elements are flowing in the jade pendant, and it seems that one can faintly feel a breeze blowing, bringing a hint of coolness. On the other side of the jade pendant, a word is engraved, Zan. Zan should be the woman's name. Lin Mo knew that the jade pendant was unusual, but with his vision, he couldn't see anything. In any case, this woman has no malice. Lin Mo believes that his feelings will not be wrong. The other party can see at a glance who is not from the great world. What is the difference between people from the great world and people from the small world? Perhaps when he arrives in the great world in the future, there will be answers. Lin Mo put away the jade pendant and looked at the area where the world core was located. Destruction light filled the area, extremely dense. Destruction light possesses the attack power of a true god, and even this woman couldn't pass through it. But, the corners of Lin Mo's mouth raised slightly, with confidence in his eyes. Others can't pass through, but that doesn't mean he can't pass through. Although the destruction light is dense, there are still gaps. As long as he controls the rhythm and is careful, it shouldn't be a problem. After Lin Mo stayed for a while, he continued to move towards the goal. The world core, as long as it is possible, he must obtain it. Antares said that obtaining this world core is very important for his future. If he can't get it, many things will become troublesome. Destruction light appeared on Lin Mo's body, and the bone armor exploded again. Here, the bone armor, besides being able to tell Lin Mo that he was attacked, has no use at all. But this is also the function that Lin Mo needs most. Destruction light appears silently, without any warning. The bone armor is used as a warning, and the effect is very good. The moment the bone armor emitted light, Lin Mo suddenly accelerated and took a step forward. Inevitably, he was still attacked by destruction light, and the undead legion also collapsed in response. But this step allowed him to escape the attack range. Every time destruction light appeared, he only needed to withstand one attack. Lin Mo was very clear that he didn't have enough reaction speed to avoid it. He can only try to withstand as few attacks as possible. Relying on undying undead and his own talent advantages, he used another method to break through the blockade of destruction light. Chapter 808. It's easier to deal with consciousness. Destruction light contains the law of destruction and the resentment of a world. It is not only powerful in attack, but also affects the soul. Lin Mo was on guard, constantly guarding his soul's original intention, and keeping his thoughts clear. Relying on undying undead, he withstood the attacks again and again, and continued to move forward. The appearance of destruction light became more and more dense. Sometimes 2 destruction lights would appear in the same position at the same time. The undead legion continued to collapse in the spell star, and the undying undead spell was activated again and again. Lin Mo was fast and slow, stopping and going to control the rhythm. Finally, he came to the final area. In a patch of mottled light, Lin Mo saw the purpose of this trip, a round ball suspended hundreds of meters away. World Core. At the first glance he saw it, Lin Mo recognized that this was the World Core. This is the last relic left after a world is destroyed. It retains the essence of a world. The World Core is like jade, with a hazy light surrounding it. The light looks a bit familiar. It is very similar to the light of Chaos Law, as if it integrates all the colors of the world. Outside the light, dense destruction light flickered, hardly leaving any gaps. Moreover, there were also a large number of destruction light jumping on the periphery, leaving very small gaps. Lin Mo observed for a while and did not find any pattern. If he wants to obtain the world core, he must fight against destruction light. No wonder she gave up. Lin Mo understood the reason why the woman gave up. With her speed and reaction, it was no problem to avoid the destruction light along the way. But in the end, these hundreds of meters, there is almost no possibility of dodging, only hard rush. Even if the speed is faster, it must continue to withstand the attack from destruction light. Destruction light has the attack power of true God level, and at least it is true God second level. The attack frequency is so high that it is scary, and it is difficult for even transcendent God 9th level to support it. Even if there are other means or treasures, it is not foolproof. It is precisely because of this that she concluded that Lin Mo could not get the world core. She also advised Lin Mo not to seek death, and can use the advantage of being a human race in this world to return when he becomes stronger in the future. Lin Mo knew that she was kind, but did not accept it. Lin Mo stood hundreds of meters away from the world core, observing destruction light. Along the way, he faintly felt the change of destruction light. The initial destruction light was aimless and without any rules, but later, the attack frequency of destruction light became higher and higher, as if it had a target. There were several consecutive attacks. Lin Mo felt that it was aimed at himself. Destruction light comes from the world core, but Lin Mo felt a faint consciousness from the world core. That was the feeling brought by the soul. His soul was infinitely close to the peak of the second grade. In addition to the substantial increase in strength, the soul has also become more sensitive. So Lin Mo faintly felt the will from the world core. The world core didn't seem to want anyone to approach it, so it used the light of destruction as a weapon to block outsiders. Especially the last 100 meters, which had almost become a forbidden zone. Lin Mo Yu carefully watched, searching for loopholes and analyzing various possibilities. After a few seconds, his eyes suddenly lit up, and a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Since it has consciousness, it will be easy to handle. If there was no conscious and indiscriminate attack, it would be a little troublesome. If the world core was conscious and could manipulate the light of destruction, it would be easier to deal with. Lin Mo Yu had a plan in mind. If I guessed correctly, I should be able to succeed. With a thought, the Undead Legion was dispatched collectively. This time, it wasn't a small-scale dispatch, but a collective action of the Undead Legion. The entire Undead Legion of 1.49 million instantly filled most of the space. The sky and the ground were full of the Undead Legion. With Lin Mo Yu's order, the Undead Legion rushed towards the world core from all directions. The light of destruction suddenly burst into action. Lin Mo Yu's soul always sensed the world core, and immediately felt the changes in the world core. The weak consciousness of the world core changed, revealing a sense of disgust in its consciousness. The emotion of disgust was very obvious, and a large amount of light of destruction began to attack the Undead Legion that rushed in. Sure enough, it has consciousness. Lin Mo Yu was now completely sure that the world core had extremely weak consciousness. It should be the remnant of the world's will. Although the world was destroyed, a little bit of will was still retained. A large number of undead were killed in the light of destruction, but they were quickly reborn. There were too many undead, a full 1.49 million, rushing from all directions and angles, densely packed with countless layers. The light of destruction had powerful attack power, and every attack could exceed the limit of the undead. Even the bone dragon would instantly have its body destroyed under the attack of the light of destruction, completely failing to trigger the comprehensive connection talent. Lin Mo Yu wanted this effect. Without triggering the talent, the light of destruction could only kill one undead at a time. A full 1.49 million undead, far exceeding the number of lights of destruction, it would take a lot of time to kill them all. Moreover, with the undying lich present, each undead could be resurrected 6 times. Whether it was a skeleton or a headless knight, as soon as they died, they would be resurrected on the spot and continue to rush towards the world core. The light of destruction had completely erupted, but it still couldn't stop the undead army. The world core was furious, and it mobilized more lights of destruction to stop the undead legion. This 100-meter forbidden zone was almost collapsing under the impact of the undead army. Lin Mo Yu's eyes became brighter and brighter, and a passage appeared in front of him. This passage led directly to the world core, and there was no light of destruction. This was a passage he deliberately left. The undead legion attracted all the lights of destruction, deliberately leaving this passage. Why did he say it would be easier to deal with if it had consciousness? Because having consciousness would take the initiative to control it, which often leads to loopholes. Lin Moyu found that loophole. The passage had been formed, and in the next second, the wings of the undead shook, and Lin Moyu appeared in front of the world core as if teleporting. He stretched out his big hand and pressed it on the world core. The world core shook violently, and immediately a light of destruction landed on Lin Moyu. The undead legion collapsed collectively, but was instantly resurrected. Lin Moyu ignored the light of destruction, and his consciousness rushed into the world core like a torrent. The world's will was once extremely powerful, but after the world was destroyed, only a weak will remained. Lin Moyu wanted to use his will to completely crush it. The world core began to resist, and the light of destruction kept flashing on Lin Moyu. The undead legion collapsed collectively again and again, and then collectively resurrected. The undying lich appeared, and the halo flashed, but quickly collapsed as well. Then purple light flashed on Lin Moyu, the talent was activated, and Lin Moyu was reborn. All spells were reset, and the undead legion was resurrected again. Now it's not about fighting for seconds, but about fighting for those fractions of a second. The time left for Lin Moyu was only a few fractions of a second, to be precise, only 0.7 seconds left. The attack frequency of the light of destruction was 0.1 seconds, and Lin Moyu could withstand 7 more attacks. Destroy it. Lin Moyu's eyes showed determination, and his will was extremely strong at this moment. The light in his hand flickered. Fusion spell, Curse of Time. At this moment, it felt like a long time had passed for the world core. The time flow of the world core was completely detached from the outside world. Time was distorted, and Lin Moyu's will erupted completely at this moment, accompanied by the soul power of the second-grade peak, like a spear piercing through the last will of the world core. Chapter 809, Damn Human Race, I Won't Let You Go. Accompanied by a scream that only the soul could hear. The world core trembled violently and completely fell silent. The last remaining will was completely crushed. The next step was to leave his soul imprint on the world core, turning this ownerless world core into his own item. Suddenly, the soul frantically warned, and the 9-colored dragon soul crystal burst into a loud dragon roar. Lin Moyu felt a fatal danger, and a sharp sword appeared in front of him, stabbing towards his neck. At the same time, a sharp sword suddenly appeared in the soul world, stabbing directly at the soul body. Double body, soul, double attack. This sword appeared silently and without warning. In the soul world, the 9-colored dragon soul crystal rushed forward and collided with the sharp sword. The soul world vibrated violently. The sharp sword was shattered by the 9-colored dragon soul crystal. But in the real world, the sharp sword brushed past Lin Moyu's neck. But Lin Moyu was unscathed, as if nothing had happened. The undead legion suffered some damage, but not to the point of collapsing. The opponent's attack was not as strong as the light of destruction. Lin Moyu had the physical resistance passive spell, and was completely immune to all physical attacks. Even physical law attacks could be reduced by 8,100 times. This sword came suddenly, and Lin Moyu didn't find the opponent until the attack ended. A light sigh came from the air after the sword failed. Then another sword was stabbed out, again a double attack on the soul and body. Still coming, I'm giving you face. Lin Moyu snorted softly in his heart, and put on a layer of bone armor. The attack that entered the soul was once again broken by the 9-colored dragon soul crystal. The bone armor collapsed, but the long sword suddenly stopped in front of Lin Moyu's neck. A ball of white light appeared not far away. The attacker was trapped by the linked bone prison spell, and then bone fangs and bone spears were launched at the same time, bursting out a ball of pure white light. A faint gray shadow appeared in the white light. The shadow was wearing special clothing, wrapping itself tightly, only revealing a pair of eyes. It looked like a human, but it was not a human race. His palms only had 4 fingers, and they were very sharp. Especially behind him, there was a tail. He didn't reveal any aura. If he hadn't been forced out by the linked spells, Lin Moyu wouldn't have been able to find him. But now that he's shown himself, that makes things easier. The opponent was very strong. The bone prison only trapped him for an instant before it shattered with a bang. At the same time, Lin Moyu pointed a finger. Fusion spell, time curse. A scream rang out as the opponent's soul was instantly burned, followed by an invasion of soul poison and various curses. Finally, the law of time played a huge role, and the damage that should have been sustained over a long period of time accumulated and erupted in a very short period. The opponent retreated, screaming, and quickly disappeared, hidden in the space. Lin Moyu put on his bone armor, but did not pursue. Now that his comprehensive rebirth talent has been activated and is currently in cooldown, and the undead spells have been used several times, he is not at his strongest. Given the unknown identity of the opponent, Lin Moyu chose to wait and see, waiting for his talent cooldown to end. The two attacks just now had probably estimated the opponent's strength. It should be between Tier 7 and Tier 8 of the Transcendent God rank. It would be difficult for this strength to kill him, but Lin Moyu was not sure if the opponent had any more powerful methods. The opponent should be from the Great World, and Lin Moyu did not dare to take it lightly due to the unknown nature of the Great World. The opponent disappeared without a trace. Even after all the spell talents had cooled down, he did not reappear. He's gone. Lin Moyu chuckled. This guy really does flee thousands of miles after one failed strike. Are the people from the Great World so afraid of death? They don't even dare to try a second time. Lin Moyu knew that the opponent couldn't kill him, but it would be difficult for him to kill the opponent. Since he's gone, that's fine, it saves trouble. The Undead Legion was on guard, protecting Lin Moyu layer upon layer. Lin Moyu closed his eyes and began to imprint his soul on the world core. Soul power slowly flowed into the world core, and the world core also emitted a soft light. Suddenly, the soul world trembled violently, and the sword appeared again. The 9-colored dragon soul crystal roared and rushed up. With the 9-colored dragon soul crystal present, the opponent's soul attack was destined to fail. In the real world, the sword also appeared. This time the sword brought with it the light of laws. With at least 2 laws intertwined, the power was much greater than before. Lin Moyu snorted lightly. Flicking his finger, the eye of the undead appeared in the air. As the bone armor shattered, the opponent's hiding place was immediately discovered. The bone prison was enough to trap the opponent for an instant, and this instant was enough for Lin Moyu to counterattack. A gray figure appeared in the air 100 meters away, while the opponent's sword was close at hand. His hand stretched out, as if it had penetrated space. The undead gaze descended, and soul attacks came rolling in. Returning the favor in kind, or rather, an eye for an eye, Lin Moyu raised his hand without hesitation and cast another time curse. A scream rang out again, obviously more shrill than before. The previous soul damage was still continuing, and this time it was even worse. Time curse plus undead gaze, Lin Moyu knew that even a Tier 8 Transcendent God would not have an easy time. He was also very proficient in soul attacks. The man disappeared again into the screams, vanishing without a trace. Lin Moyu's eyes were cold. He knew that this attack had really hurt the opponent. If he came again, he might have a chance to leave him here. Taking a deep breath, he had already prepared to kill the opponent. At the same time, soul power continued to pour into the world core to imprint it. But this time, contrary to Lin Moyu's expectations, the opponent really did not appear again. In a corner of the deep space, a gray shadow suddenly appeared. He fell out of space and onto the ground, rolling around and letting out earth-shattering screams. His soul felt like it was being burned by fire, constantly bringing pain. Bastard, damned human, I will not let you go, absolutely not. I will cut your flesh off piece by piece, cutting off 108,000 pieces. I will make sure you die a horrible death, with no complete corpse. Amidst the screams, he constantly cursed Lin Moyu, even though he didn't even know Lin Moyu's name. He trembled and took out something, crushing it fiercely. A burst of light rose from his body and slowly disappeared, leaving the deep space. Lin Moyu knew nothing about this. Anyway, anyone who dared to snatch his world core was an irreconcilable enemy. Soul power continued to pour into the world core, leaving his mark on it. The world core was taken into the soul world, appearing in the hands of the soul body. A surge of energy poured out from the world core into the soul body. The soul body immediately shone brightly, as if it had drunk a tonic. The original distance from the peak of 2nd grade was still a little bit short, but now this distance was completely filled. The copper helmet and iron armor were shrouded in light, truly reaching the peak of 2nd grade. Through the soul, Lin Moyu could feel that the world core was full of various laws. However, all the laws were broken and very incomplete. At the same time, he also felt another force, a very powerful force. This was a force that transcended the laws, seemingly the most original force of the world core. World power. Lin Moyu thought of hearing about this power before. The reason why the world core was so precious was not because of the laws it contained, but because of this world power. As the world core was put away, the independent world disappeared, and Lin Mo Yu returned to the deep space. Taking a deep breath, this trip was complete, he could return. Chapter 810 The third choice of the world core. Sleepy eyes reflected Lin Mo Yu's figure. Why are you back? Antares said with a low voice, obviously not fully awake. Lin Mo Yu said, I've done what I needed to do, so naturally I came back. Done, so fast, Antares muttered. How long has it been? Only about half a month before and after. It's done. When did the deep space become so easy to mix in? Soul reached second grade, Antares said with doubt, thinking it was impossible. In the deep space, even finding the way would take a long time. If you encounter a transcendent god, you will inevitably have to fight a few battles. How could it be so fast? Lin Mo Yu said, I was lucky, I found the burial ground of gods, and also found the world core. What? Antares raised his head sharply. Not only was the burial ground of gods found, but even the world core was found. Lin Mo Yu said, it's a pity that I couldn't find the Dragon Ball this time. I'll go again next time. I'll definitely help you find the Dragon Ball back. Antares shook his head. Dragon Ball, it's okay, that's not urgent. Take out the world core and let me have a look, Antares said. Lin Mo took out the world core and presented it to Antares. The world core was just a fist-sized ball, and in front of Antares' eyes, it was as insignificant as an ant. Antares blinked. That's right, that's the thing. The power of the world is quite sufficient, it can be considered a high-quality product among the cores of small worlds. With this, your future path will be much easier. Lin Mo asked with confusion, what's the use of this? Antares chuckled, let me explain it to you properly. Antares perked up, shaking his big head, his eyes becoming serious. Seeing Antares like this, Lin Mo knew that what he was about to say was really important, and he immediately perked up his ears. I'm all ears. Ahem. Antares cleared his throat, like an old scholar, and began to lecture. The world core is a true god-level treasure, it has 3 uses in total. Most people only know 2 of them, but they don't know the last one. In fact, the last use is the biggest and most important function of the world core, and it is also the most important one for you. Antares used 3, most, as an opening statement, further piquing Lin Mo's interest. The first use is to refine weapons and armor with the world core. The weapons and armor refined with it will possess the power of the world, and the effect will far exceed equipment of the same level. The second use is to extract the power of the world from the world core to strengthen one's own world. In the great world, almost every strong person has their own small world. Some of them will destroy the world and refine a perfectly good world into a world core, and then extract the power of the world to strengthen their own world. Lin Mo's heart skipped a beat as he listened. The strong in the great world would actually do such a thing. The cruelty of the great world once again exceeded his imagination. Although wars between the strong often cause the destruction of the world. But passively destroying the world and actively destroying the world are 2 completely different concepts. Weak creatures in the great world do not even have the most basic right to survival. How long they can live depends on the mood of the strong. Antares chuckled, now you know how cruel the great world is, right? Now let me talk about the third use. Most people don't know about this use, only races like our dragon race with ancient inheritance would know. The world core can also be refined into a special container. Lin Mo was slightly stunned. A special container? What's it for? Antares shook his big head. In the world core, besides the power of the world, the most precious thing is its main body. Its main body contains various laws. Through this secret method of our dragon race, it can be refined into a special container. In this container, everything is still, including time. Lin Mo thought for a while, but still couldn't figure out what this special container was for. Antares laughed even louder. You have always been very smart, why can't you think of it now? You will eventually leave this world. I once told you that there are 2 ways to leave this world. Lin Mo responded, Antares had indeed said so. One way is to bring the entire world into the great world, so that your world can bathe in the laws of the great world and become a true member of the great world. In this way, this world will become stronger, some restrictions will disappear, the speed of cultivation of people in the world will increase, and it will be easier to comprehend the laws. The disadvantage is that this world will lose the protection of the great world and be truly exposed to the eyes of the strong of all races. The other way is for Lin Mo to go out first, and then bring the small world out after he is strong enough. But how strong he needs to be and how much time it will take, Lin Mo is not sure. It may take hundreds or thousands of years, or even longer. By then, everything in the small world will have changed. His sister, Meng Anwen, Bai Yiyuan, Ning Yi, Shi Xing'an, these people he cares about may all be gone by then. Both methods are not perfect. At that time, Lin Mo was unable to make a decision. Antares smiled and said, "Thought of it, right. Now that you have the world core, you have a third choice. When you become the lord of the world, you can manipulate the soul imprints in the world. Pack all your confidants and friends into this world container and take them away." Lin Mo's eyes flickered. The third option that Antares said was indeed much better than the previous two. Lin Mo said, "In this way, they will be able to obtain the resources of the great world, be baptized by the laws of the great world, have the opportunity to cultivate to a higher level, and even obtain immortality." Antares snorted heavily, exhaling a breath of rough air. Immortality? You think immortality is so easy? There are countless races in the great world. Some races have a long lifespan of tens of thousands of years, and some races have a lifespan of only a few years. According to the lifespan of your human race, ordinary people are only 100 years old, even a god level is less than 200 years old. A half-step transcendent god has a few decades more than a god level. Even if various methods are used to extend life, the limit will not exceed 400 years. How long do you want them to live? 200 years or 400 years? Lin Mo shook his head. These were not what he wanted. Can't it be longer? Antares said angrily, "Of course it can. Transcendent God level is the first transformation of the human race. The lifespan of a transcendent God first order is 500 years. Every time you increase by one order, you can add 100 years. For your human race, the lifespan limit of the transcendent God order is 2,000 years. True God level is even longer, starting at 5,000 years. But let me tell you the truth, none of your confidants, friends, or teachers have enough qualifications to reach the transcendent God level. Li Jiao, if the qualifications are not enough, no amount of effort will help. Even if you go to the great world, it will be useless. Don't be delusional." Antares ruthlessly attacked Lin Mo. Lin Mo was not angry, he could understand the meaning of Antares's words. Antares was just telling him to give up any unrealistic thoughts. Antares continued to attack Lin Mo, "And you think this is so simple, everything has two sides. This special container, everyone only has one chance, they cannot enter a second time. So once you wake them up in the great world, and then you can't help them improve to the transcendent God level, that is, wasting a short 200 or 300 years. That's not as good as you spending your life with them in this world and then leaving here. A mere few hundred years, I'll just take a nap and it'll be over. You should just choose one of the first two methods, it doesn't matter if you go out a few hundred years later. There's no need to go to so much trouble, it's not worth it. What's more, even if you take them out, there is not necessarily hope, wasting energy, and it may affect yourself." Chapter 811, Coffin of Sleep, Target Invincible Strong. Antares kept complaining, with complaints. His emotions were obviously a little wrong. Lin Mo's eyes were filled with concern. "What's wrong with you?" Antares shook his head. "Nothing." Lin Mo's voice sank slightly. "There must be something wrong." Antares stared at Lin Mo, and Lin Mo also stared at Antares. Big eyes staring at small eyes, looking like he wouldn't say anything. Antares finally retreated. "Actually, it's nothing, it's just that a few guys from the previous era didn't listen and did some outrageous things. These outrageous things made me very unhappy and caused some damage to this world. Otherwise, your era wouldn't be so tragic." Antares didn't go into details, just hinted at it. Obviously, he didn't want to talk about this issue in depth. That was a problem of the previous era. Antares was a little angry, and could only talk to Lin Mo about it. Antares had said similar things many times. It was full of resentment towards the guys from the last era. Lin Mo Yu didn't press further, but continued with the previous topic. "Is there any way to make them live longer?" Antares glared at Lin Mo Yu. "You little brat, you guessed it long ago, didn't you?" Lin Mo Yu smiled, he had indeed guessed it. Lin Mo Yu knew that Antares was telling him this method for his own sake. Since he had been told this method, there must be a follow-up. Antares said, "When you become an invincible powerhouse, you might be able to defy fate." Invincible powerhouse. After Antares explained it once, Lin Mo Yu finally knew what an invincible powerhouse was. It's not a realm, nor a level, but a title of respect. In the great world, an invincible powerhouse refers to someone who has mastered a certain law to the extreme. After mastering a law to the extreme, one will gain some magical abilities. Only then will there be a chance to defy fate. It is very difficult to become an invincible powerhouse. Fierce fighting spirit surged in Lin Mo Yu's eyes, as if a fire was burning. The soul also let out a silent roar, and Antares heard the sound of Lin Mo Yu's soul. Invincible powerhouse, I will reach it. Lin Mo Yu clenched his fist, making cracking sounds. How to use the world core to refine a container, you teach, I'll do it. Lin Mo Yu said in a deep voice, decisively. He had already made his choice, he would definitely reach the invincible powerhouse. The container mentioned by Antares is also known as the coffin of slumber. Because it is refined from the world core, and it cannot be done by others, Lin Mo Yu must do it himself. After the container is refined, it can be stored in the soul world and carried with you. Antares told Lin Mo Yu the refining method. Lin Mo Yu took the world core into his soul, and then the power of the soul flowed out, surrounding the world core. To refine the coffin of slumber, there is no need to use fire, nor to hammer, but to use the power of the soul. The trip to the deep space absorbed a large amount of soul essence, which not only improved the quality of the soul, but also unknowingly broke through to level 96. Now Lin Mo Yu already has the ability to drive laws, without having to continue to rely on the soul-splitting technique. Level 96 soul level, second grade peak soul quality, more than 10 times more pure soul power than the same level. Lin Mo Yu has far surpassed other level 96 professionals in terms of soul. He also met the requirements for refining the coffin of slumber. The first step is to strip away the power of the world. The soul power that had already enveloped the world core suddenly rioted, instantly wrapping the power of the world in the world core, and extracting it. The power of the world has no effect on refining the coffin of slumber. Not only the power of the world, but even the laws in the world core must be completely stripped away. The inside of the coffin of slumber is absolutely still, without any energy, it is truly empty. All that is needed is the special substance of the world core. As for what is special about this substance, Lin Mo Yu doesn't know, and Antares doesn't know either. Antares just taught Lin Mo Yu according to the secret refining method from the Dragon Clan. Knowing what it is, but not knowing why. This was Lin Mo Yu's first time refining a weapon, and it was still refining with his soul, so Lin Mo Yu was very careful. Refining weapons in the great world is different from refining weapons in the small world. Refining weapons in the small world is the job of alchemists and blacksmiths. But in the great world, as long as you have the strength, everyone can refine weapons. It's just that some people have the talent or spells in this area, which can enhance the weapons they refine. With the same materials, they can refine stronger and better weapons. Lin Mo Yu naturally wouldn't pursue anything better or stronger now. The coffin of slumber, as long as it can be used. The power of the world was stripped out by Lin Mo Yu with his soul. The whole process was very slow. Lin Mo Yu did it very carefully, not letting go of a single bit. The whole process took a full 10 days. After the power of the world left the world core, it gathered into a ball of golden light. Antares said softly, "Do you know? This ball of the power of the world can be sold for a good price in the great world." Lin Mo Yu asked strangely, "Can the power of the world be used for trading?" Antares laughed, "What's so strange about this? In the great world, there is almost nothing that cannot be traded. From a small piece of material to an entire world. From inanimate objects to living things, from the lowest slaves to a powerful race, can be traded. The key is whether you can afford the price. As long as the price is right, even if you want the head of an invincible powerhouse, someone might take it. Things like the power of the world are all hard currency. Those powerhouses all have their own small worlds and want to improve the strength of their worlds. Some elders will also get a small world for their younger generations and give them some power of the world in order to cultivate them. The veil of the great world was lifted another corner. But the more you know, the more you can imagine the cruelty within. Lin Mo Yu was still repeatedly checking the world core to see if there were any omissions. Even if a trace was missed, it could cause his refining to fail. Antares just glanced at it, "No need to look, you can proceed to the second step." Lin Mo Yu did check almost everything and started the second step. The second step, stripping the laws. The world core contains many broken laws. These laws are in a scattered and disordered state, and Lin Moyu also needs to strip them away with his soul power. The method is not much different from stripping the power of the world. Lin Moyu has experience, so it went relatively smoothly. Whether it is stripping the power of the world or stripping the laws, it is actually a process of deepening the soul imprint on the world core. During the stripping process, the connection between Lin Moyu and the world core became closer, which also laid the foundation for the next step. Lin Moyu became more and more proficient, began to handle it with ease, and could even spare time to chat with Antares. When I was looking for the world core, I met two people from the great world. Antares asked strangely, the deep space is originally connected to the great world, it's not surprising that someone came in. And it's not a secret that the world core fell into the deep space. Besides Zhang Yi, there must be others who know. Tell me, who did you meet? Lin Moyu told the situation at the time and showed the jade pendant to Antares. Antares looked at the jade pendant, pondered for a moment, but didn't recognize where it came from. This jade pendant carries a positioning spell. When you enter the great world, the other party should sense it. Your human race is quite united in the great world, so there should be nothing wrong. As for the one who attacked you, it should be the Shadow Clan trash. These guys are originally like this, doing nothing but petty theft. Antares' disdain made Lin Moyu laugh. This guy's arrogant temperament can't be changed. Suddenly, Antares glared at Lin Moyu's soul, his eyes gradually changing. Chapter 812. Is it fun to scare me? What's wrong? Antares' eyes became very wrong. Lin Moyu also felt strange, not knowing what had happened. Antares stared at Lin Moyu's soul. Did you encounter anything else? Lin Moyu pondered. It should be gone, right? I'll see for myself. After Antares finished speaking, a gigantic dragon eye suddenly appeared in the soul world. Art. Divine Dragon's Eye. Antares used the Divine Dragon's Eye to examine Lin Moyu's soul. Lin Moyu knew that Antares wouldn't harm him, so he opened up his soul for him to examine. The more Antares looked, the more he felt something was off, his tone slightly serious. Have you had any contact with the insect race? Lin Moyu thought of something. Yes, I wanted to know what happened back then, so I examined the soul of a third-order transcendent insect. What did you see? Lin Moyu slightly shook his head. There was nothing in its soul. Antares said with disdain. Heh, of course there wouldn't be anything. Third-order transcendent insects are just cannon fodder. What does a cannon fodder need? It just needs to follow orders. It's just like a battle puppet. Do you need a puppet to have thoughts? As long as it can fight and kill. Continue. There was nothing in its soul. You definitely weren't satisfied. What else did you do? Antares looked at Lin Moyu with an expression that said, I know you too well. Lin Moyu thought for a moment. I continued to delve deeper into its soul, and finally, in the depths of its soul, I saw a different scene. It was an incomparably huge three-dimensional net, with countless layers, I don't know how many, with countless nodes on it, densely packed and countless. Then, in the center of the net, a huge eye appeared. It launched a soul attack on me, and I immediately retreated. Oh right, it also spoke to me at the time. Antares urgently asked, what did it say? Those who pry into our clan shall die. Hearing Lin Moyu's answer, Antares revealed a strange smile, repeating Lin Moyu's words, those who pry into our clan shall die. Lin Moyu asked with doubt, is there a problem? The problem is huge. You brat, you're in big trouble, this world is in big trouble. Do you know what you've provoked? Antares was somewhat exasperated, even his eyes showed horror. Lin Moyu felt like he had provoked an incredible existence. But then he thought about it and realized something was wrong. If the insect race was really that powerful, why couldn't they invade this world back then? In Antares' eyes, Lin Moyu captured a faint smile. Is it fun to scare me like this? Lin Moyu glared at Antares unhappily. Antares immediately smiled sheepishly. I was discovered. Tell me, what's going on? Lin Moyu knew that something must have happened to him, but it shouldn't be too serious. At least the situation hadn't exceeded Antares' ability. Antares smiled slyly. What you entered was actually the insect race's soul network. The structure of the insect race is somewhat special, different from many races. They are centered around a mother nest, which then gives birth to countless offspring, and all the insects are controlled by the mother nest. The eye you saw, and the voice you heard, were actually issued by the mother nest. The insect race's soul network is equivalent to their private territory. When you enter it, you are considered an intruder, and they naturally want to kill you. Although you dodged the mother nest's soul attack, you were still left with a mark. The insect race can find you through this mark. Lin Mo Yu said, but I'm in the small world, the insect race can't come in. The insect race can't come in, but they can completely destroy this small world by paying some price. Moreover, the insect race is unreasonable. What you did is a taboo for the insect race, and they are already irreconcilable with you. I'm so screwed. Lin Mo Yu was already speechless, he just took a look, why is there such a big trouble? Fortunately, the insect race is very far away from you, and it will take time to come here. I will now remove the mark they left on you, and they won't be able to find you. The great world is so big, who knows where you are? As Antares spoke, a beam of light shot out from the divine dragon's eye, landing on Lin Mo Yu's soul. Lin Mo Yu felt that his soul seemed to become lighter, and some things that shouldn't belong to the soul were cleaned out. Soon, the mark left by the insect race on Lin Mo Yu was cleaned up, and Antares put away the divine dragon's eye. Actually, the Shadow Clan also left a mark on you, and I cleaned it up this time as well. Lin Mo Yu was a little depressed. Do people in the great world like to leave soul marks so much? Antares laughed, it's just standard procedure, you'll understand later. Just get used to it, get used to it. Lin Mo Yu was very speechless, is this one of the rules of the great world? The insect race's starship, which was traveling rapidly in the starry sky of the great world, suddenly stopped. They lost the guiding beacon and had no direction. The mother nest in the deep space opened its eyes again and issued an angry roar. The soul sound echoed in the silent deep space. Who dares to interfere in our clan's affairs? No matter who you are, this sovereign has remembered your aura and will find you sooner or later. The mother nest shared the aura related to Lin Mo Yu with the entire insect race. In every corner of the deep space, mother nests awakened one after another, receiving this information. The insect race has a special way of communicating, which can instantly transmit its will to the entire group. Lin Mo Yu has already entered the insect race's blacklist. In the territory of the Shadow Clan in the Great World, a group of Shadow Clan people gathered together. The shadow person who failed to ambush Lin Mo Yu and was injured by Lin Mo Yu was sitting on the ground, very embarrassed. Around him were a group of Shadow Clan elders, watching him like they were watching a rare animal. Each of these high-level people was extremely powerful, suppressing him so that he dared not speak. He also didn't know that his return was just to heal his wounds. How could it have caused such a big commotion? The soul has been cursed. This is a composite curse that has several types of damage at the same time. But this is not the most terrible thing. In this curse, there is an accompanying law of time. I also felt the law of time. Which human race powerhouse made the move? This law of time seems to have just been mastered recently and is still very shallow. No matter who it is, anyone related to the law of time cannot be underestimated. I didn't expect that someone in the human race has mastered the law of time. It's really enviable. It seems that an invincible powerhouse is about to be born in the human race. The Shadow Clan elders discussed one after another. That person wanted to cry but had no tears. After talking for so long, are you going to heal my wounds? He was constantly suffering from the torment of the curse, in excruciating pain. As a result, he still had to be watched. How depressed he was. He hated Lin Mo Yu more and more in his heart, wishing he could cut Lin Mo Yu into pieces, tens of millions of pieces. For a whole month, Lin Mo Yu was refining the coffin of slumber. In the first 10 days, he stripped away the power of the world, and in the next 10 days, he stripped away all the laws in the core of the world. In the last 10 days, he expanded the internal space of the world core to form a special environment that was completely empty. The core of the world is originally a special item that is only produced after the destruction of a world. It has some special properties that only the world has, such as not needing the law of space. It has a huge space. After losing the power of the world and the law, it only has space left. In this space, even the law of time completely disappears. Once inside, everything will be in a state of stillness. Accompanied by bursts of faint light, the coffin of slumber was finally completed. Chapter 813, Transferring Talents, Soul Scorching. The coffin of slumber doesn't look like a small box, it's quite inconspicuous. The soul held the coffin of slumber. I didn't refine it wrong, did I? Antares glanced at it. That's right, it's this thing. I've seen a few in the clan before, they're all like this. Lin Moyu asked strangely, why do you dragons need this thing? The dragons have long lifespans. Ordinary elemental dragons can live for thousands of years. If they evolve into holy dragons or even divine dragons, it's not uncommon to live for tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of years. Why would they need this thing? Antares looked at Lin Moyu like he was an idiot. Don't dragons get injured? If you get injured and put it inside, the injury won't worsen, and you can buy time for treatment. Anyway, there are many uses for the coffin of slumber. Besides holding girls, it can also hold other things. You can figure it out yourself when you have time. Lin Moyu put away the coffin of slumber. Okay, I understand. With this thing, there is at least a chance to defy fate for Ningyi and others. So they wouldn't have to watch them fail to break through and die of old age after 100 years. Lin Moyu thought a lot about this in the past month, thinking about all the possibilities. Everyone has different personalities, and they will make different choices. The choice he makes may not be the choice others like. In the end, how to choose still depends on their opinions. The soul took a deep breath, stretched, causing a slight tremor in the soul world. Using soul power continuously for a month has further improved Lin Moyu's soul control ability. It also accumulated some experience in refining equipment. The method of refining equipment with the soul is similar. Now, as long as the corresponding methods and materials are given, Lin Moyu can manipulate his soul power to refine various equipment. It can also be regarded as acquiring a new skill. My soul has reached the peak of the 2nd grade, and my level is close to level 89, it's time to transfer the talent. When saying this, he looked at Antares, the implication being, is there anything I should pay attention to? Is there anything else you want to say? Last time was just a try, Antares obviously didn't explain clearly. This matter must be foolproof. Lin Moyu didn't mind the trouble, and asked one more question. Antares said, there's nothing to pay attention to, I hope you succeed. Really nothing to pay attention to? Really nothing? Are you sure? Sure, brat, don't you trust me? It's okay, he just tricked Lin Moyu once last time, and he actually doubted his words like this. What about the promised trust? How can the trust between humans and dragons be so fragile? Antares walked away angrily, closed his big eyes, looking like he didn't want to pay attention to Lin Moyu anymore. Lin Moyu looked at his appearance, knowing that he wasn't really angry, and didn't care as the soul body rushed into the depths of the soul world. The surrounding sounds disappeared. The soul world always had some noise, which came from the spell stars, from all directions. Even the sound of the soul body's energy flowing, and the sound of the 9-colored dragon soul circling. These sounds were very, very subtle, countless times smaller than the sound of an ant crawling. You can't hear it with your ears, you can only hear it with your soul. But now, as the soul world deepened, all the sounds disappeared. The soul could no longer hear any sound. Even the 9-colored dragon soul was still circling, it became silent. The surroundings were dark. The light of the spell stars had long disappeared, it was too deep here, the light of the spell stars could not shine in. No one knows how deep the soul world is, it is said. Because no one has ever reached it. Lin Moyu had asked this question, but Antares couldn't give a corresponding answer. However, Antares told a story. Once there was a powerful existence close to invincible, who tried to explore the deepest secrets of the soul. His soul kept moving towards the deepest part. In the end, he died. After he died, he was discovered by others, who checked his body. They found that his soul had disappeared, leaving only a shell. The deeper you go into the soul world, the weaker the connection between the soul and the body becomes, until it disappears. The strong man Antares mentioned died like this. The connection between the body and the soul was completely broken, and the soul was lost in an unknown place, unable to return. Vaguely, Lin Moyu felt that the soul world was not as simple as it seemed on the surface. If there is a chance in the future. While pondering, a glimmer of light appeared in his sight, slightly illuminating this mysterious world. The door to the talent world had already appeared in front of him, and the crack he had torn open still existed. The talent world, seemingly real and seemingly unreal, is between reality and illusion, and it is difficult to explain. Outsiders can't enter this area, only he can enter. Lin Moyu came to the door of the talent world, and through the crack he tore open, he saw the 3 flames again. The 3 purple flames represent his 3 talents. They are arranged in a triangular shape, burning fiercely. In the center of each flame, there is a talent seed. As long as you take the talent seed out and bring it back to your own soul world, then it is considered taking the talent out. After success, even if you reach level 90 and the door to the talent world gradually closes, your talent will not disappear. Lin Mo Yu knew too well how important talent was. The 3 major talents are indispensable. He would rather have half as many spells, but not lose a single talent. The soul body passed through the door and truly entered the talent world. A scorching breath rushed towards him. This scorching heat can only be felt by the soul body. Lin Mo Yu couldn't estimate how high the temperature of the 3 purple flames was. Last time, the soul was not strong enough, and at the peak of the 1st grade, it could not touch the talent seed. This time, the soul has reached the peak of the 2nd grade, with bronze helmet and iron armor, and a layer of golden light covering the outside. It is already very close to the 3rd grade, there should be no big problem this time. Lin Mo Yu was full of confidence and put his hand into the talent flame again, trying to grab the talent seed. The soul was scorched, and a burst of severe pain came. Lin Mo Yu was prepared, only groaned, and did not withdraw his hand. The soul was shining with golden light, and the soul itself also exuded a bronze and iron color, blocking the burning of the talent flame. The soul at the peak of the 2nd grade is indeed much stronger than the peak of the 1st grade. This time, Lin Mo Yu successfully grabbed the talent seed. At the moment he grabbed the talent seed, the talent flame instantly exploded, engulfing the entire soul. He was in a sea of talent flames, and intense pain came from all directions. It was as if at this moment, countless people were attacking his soul. At this moment, the power of the talent flame was several times stronger than before. Lin Mo Yu had a feeling of palpitations. If it had been the last time, even if I had been lucky enough to grab a talent seed, I would have probably been burned to ashes in an instant. I wouldn't die, but it would be quite painful. Intense pain kept attacking. The pain in the soul was unbearable. Lin Mo's soul was trembling, and his body was also trembling. Thoughts kept coming from his subconscious, telling him to let go of the talent seed. As long as he let go of the talent seed, the flames would disappear, and the pain would disappear. But once he let go, all his previous efforts would be in vain. How could Lin Mo let go? Absolutely impossible. He grunted, gritted his teeth, and rushed out of the talent world, tightly holding the talent seed. Chapter 814. Stop pretending, go move bricks. In the deep, dark world, a ball of purple flame was moving rapidly. At the center of the flame was Lin Mo's soul. He gritted his teeth, groaning from time to time, and quickly returned. Along the way, balls of fire fell, leaving a long trail of fire behind him. The purple flame was burning fiercely, using the entire soul world as nourishment. The soul world and the soul body, combined together, were considered Lin Mo's soul. Any damage to either would bring intense pain. As more and more flames fell, and the fire trail became longer and longer, the pain also continued to intensify. Lin Mo knew that there was no turning back once the arrow was released. From the moment he grasped the talent seed, there was no turning back. He could only go all the way to the end. Only success was allowed, failure was not an option. Under the continuous roasting of the talent flame, Lin Mo felt that his soul seemed to be fading, and his consciousness was passing away. Is it reaching the limit? Lin Mo suddenly had a thought, but he immediately erased it himself. No, it's far from the limit. It's just the 1st talent, there are still the 2nd and 3rd talents behind. The chosen race has only moved out 10 talents at most. I only have 3 talents in total. What's that? The sound of the soul resounded, breaking the darkness and silence. 30. Lin Mo didn't know at all that there were also differences between talents. His talent belonged to the highest level of unique talent, so moving it was particularly difficult. Those lower-level ordinary talents were much easier to move. With his previous 1st grade peak soul quality, he could have easily moved them successfully. Antares didn't tell Lin Mo these things, and there was no need to tell him. The light of 22 magic stellar stars illuminated the soul world, rendering the soul world silver-white. Suddenly, a purple light appeared in the soul world. The purple light quickly overwhelmed the light of the magic stellar stars, adding another color to Lin Mo. The magic stellar stars had light but no heat, and the soul world was originally slightly cold. But from the moment the purple light appeared, the soul world suddenly became warm. Soon, a ball of purple flame appeared in the soul world. Lin Mo returned to the soul world bathed in fire, and released his hand as soon as possible, allowing the talent seed to fall into the soul world. Boom! The purple flame exploded, and the soul world instantly turned into a sea of fire. The magic stellar stars were jumping, and the 9-colored dragon soul crystal was roaring. The entire soul world began to vibrate violently. The pain, even stronger than before, surged in at this moment, and Lin Mo couldn't help but let out a scream. The talent flame ignited the soul, and the soul world turned into a sea of fire, burning fiercely. Waves of intense pain kept attacking, giving Lin Mo a feeling worse than death. He wished he could faint on the spot, but his mind couldn't clear, and it was impossible to faint. In the outside world, Lin Mo's whole body was smoking, and purple light leaked out from time to time. Antares opened a slit in its eyes and chuckled, "Little brat, enjoy it." It obviously knew this would happen, but it just didn't tell Lin Mo. This continued for a full 10 minutes, 10 minutes worse than death. The pain suddenly disappeared, disappearing suddenly without warning. The next second, an unspeakable sense of comfort swept through his body. Extreme sorrow begets joy, after suffering comes happiness. Lin Mo couldn't describe how he felt now. He had never felt this kind of comfort before. His thoughts were clearer than ever before, and he felt that the world seemed to have become different. How could this be? The flame in the soul had disappeared, and a talent flame was swaying beside the soul body. The entire soul world was like glazed glass that had been burned through, exuding a noble aura. This burning made the soul world more solid, at least 10 times more solid than before. The previous soul world was like a net, with wind blowing everywhere. Now, a layer of glass-like shield appeared on the net, protecting the soul. The soul world is the outer shell of the soul. The more solid it is, the safer the soul is. Not only did the soul world become more solid, but even the soul was improved. The burning along the way had cleared some of Lin Mo's impurities again. The quality of the soul seemed to have improved again, a little closer to the 3rd grade. I didn't expect that moving talents would have such benefits. Lin Mo exhaled a long breath, feeling that the pain he had endured before was worth it. Antares snorted, "The benefits are more than just these." At some point, Antares had returned to Lin Mo's soul world. It was also admiring the changes in the soul world. This is more like it. This kind of soul world is worthy of a 3rd grade soul. Antares commented on Lin Mo's soul world, and seemed quite satisfied. Lin Mo said, "You mean, after I move out all 3 talents, the quality of my soul can reach the 3rd grade?" Antares hummed, "Almost, it should be possible." Should be possible, that is, a certain grasp. Even true God-level powerhouses may not be able to possess a 3rd grade soul. The soul is the basis of everything, only a stronger soul can carry more powerful power. A 2nd grade soul is the basis for becoming a true God. At the same time, the limit of a 2nd grade soul also stops at the true God level. If you want to go to a higher place, then the quality of the soul must also be improved accordingly. If you want to break through the true God level, you must first have a 3rd grade soul. Lin Mo may be the first to reach the 3rd grade soul, laying a solid foundation for his future. The talent flame finally stabilized, and at this time it was much closer to the soul. Lin Mo could clearly feel its existence, and the two were connected to each other, inseparable. "I feel like my talent has become stronger." Lin Mo suddenly felt that his talent seemed to have changed. Antares said, "It's normal for it to become stronger. The original talents didn't belong to you, they were just temporarily residing in your soul world. If you didn't move them out, when you reach the super god level and the talent world closes, these talents would leave you. Now that you have moved them out, the talent seeds have your soul imprint, these 580 talents truly belong to you. Do you know why this thing is called a talent seed?" Lin Mo Yu thought for a moment, "Is it because they can grow?" Antares chuckled, "That's right, they can grow." Lin Mo Yu followed up, "Can all talents grow?" "Yes, all talents can grow. However, different talents have different growth limits. Some seeds grow into grass, while others become trees. Talents can grow as Lin Mo Yu's strength increases. Starting from a seed, sprouting, and eventually growing into a towering tree." Antares told Lin Mo Yu how to strengthen his talents. "In fact, it's very simple, just use souls to irrigate them. But to irrigate talents, you first need high-quality souls. Especially for powerful talents like Lin Mo Yu's, the higher the quality of the soul required." Lin Mo Yu couldn't wait to irrigate his talents, but Antares stopped him. "Don't rush to irrigate. You can move all 3 talents out before irrigating. The first irrigation is very important, like laying a foundation. The higher the soul quality, the better the effect. Lin Moyu understood that once all 3 talents were moved out, his soul might reach the 3rd rank. Using a 3rd rank soul for the first irrigation would be more effective than now. Thank you. Lin Moyu sincerely thanked him. Antares snorted, stop being hypocritical, go move bricks. Chapter 815. System, are you there? Entering the talent world again. Lin Moyu had experience and was prepared. He directly reached out and grabbed the talent seed. Enduring the pain of being burned by flames, he quickly left the talent world and began to return. In the deep darkness, a fire path appeared again, with a fireman leading the way. Pain is only temporary, but the good is infinite. Lin Moyu seemed to be hypnotizing himself, ignoring the unbearable pain as much as possible, and returned to the soul world with the talent seed. A streak of purple light struck from the distant darkness, like the first ray of light breaking through the darkness, bringing hope and light. It also pointed the direction for Lin Moyu in the darkness. Lin Moyu followed the guidance of the light and accelerated. Looking at the light, countless memories Yongchu. The first talent he moved was also the first talent he awakened, comprehensive amplification. This talent had been with him for the longest time, and it had brought him great help in any period. Even now, the undead and various spells can break through the limit and exert powerful power, all thanks to it. As the level increased, the comprehensive amplification talent was also strengthening. Without this talent, Lin Moyu asked himself, he could at most be invincible at the same level. Cross-level challenges would become very difficult, even impossible. Even if he had more undead, if he faced a level 90 god-level powerhouse at level 80, he would still be vulnerable. He could achieve this step, and the comprehensive amplification talent was indispensable. This unique god-level talent was the first sharp blade in his hand, cutting through thorns and being invincible. Growing all the way to the present, Lin Moyu already knew many things. He was cursed by the runes of the Great World, and all spells and skills were greatly weakened. Fortunately, he obtained the comprehensive amplification talent to compensate, which greatly weakened the curse effect of the Great World runes. The comprehensive amplification talent seemed to be fighting against the Great World runes. Lin Moyu thought of his system, which had not appeared for a long time. Like the talent he was moving now, it was also optimized by the system. And the 3rd talent was also obtained through system fusion and optimization. During the skill demonstration, the system had appeared in the image of a necromancer. He had also seen it when the talent was awakened. The system had always been there, always helping him. It would always appear at the most critical moment. Suddenly, Lin Moyu realized something. He suddenly understood something he hadn't understood before. System, it's the system that is helping me, fighting against the Great World Runes diaresis close corner bracket. The Great World Runes cursed me with its supreme power, not only suppressing my skills, but also suppressing my talents. The system fights against the Great World Runes, allowing me to obtain god-level talents and possess powerful power. No wonder I saw the system in the talent world. No wonder I saw it during the skill demonstration. It really has always been there. Lin Moyu suddenly became enlightened and finally understood. He brought the 2nd talent seed back to the soul world. Lin Moyu put down the talent seed, letting it turn the entire soul into a sea of fire. The soul world vibrated violently. The 2nd scorching would make the soul world more solid in the flames and strengthen it again. The quality of the soul also improved. Lin Moyu's body shone with golden light, and he had already touched the barrier between the 2nd and 3rd ranks. He only needed to move forward a little more to break through the barrier and make his soul a 3rd rank. Antares noticed that Lin Moyu seemed to be a little off. What's wrong? It's nothing, I'm thinking about some questions. Lin Moyu naturally wouldn't reveal the system's affairs. This was his biggest secret, and it would forever rot in his stomach, and he wouldn't tell anyone. Antares said, oh, what question? This dragon can answer your questions. You can't. You dare to underestimate this dragon? This dragon is omniscient, Antares shouted loudly, very unconvinced. Lin Moyu rolled his eyes at it. I'm thinking, what exactly is at the deepest part of the soul world? This. Antares suddenly became mute. It really didn't know this. Lin Moyu smiled, I'm just thinking about it. Antares earnestly advised, you can think about it, but don't go there. Curiosity killed the cat. I know. Seeing that the 2nd talent flame had also stabilized, the temperature of the soul world had increased again by a large margin, and warmth flowed everywhere. The closer to the talent flame, the higher the temperature and the warmer it was. Lin Moyu rested for a while, and after his soul was completely recovered, he went to the talent world again. The purple light shone a long distance behind him, and then it became fainter and fainter. Lin Moyu had a feeling that the entire soul world was like an boundless starry sky. And the area where he had the Shu Faang Xing and the talent flame was just an insignificant point in the boundless starry sky. That feeling was like the solar system of the former world, which was only an insignificant point in the universe. He was like leaving his home and heading into the dark depths of the endless. This feeling was very strange, suddenly popping up, but thinking about it, it was indeed very similar. Lin Moyu quickly entered the talent world again. There was still the last talent flame burning in the talent world. This was the third talent, comprehensive rebirth. It looked no different from the previous two talent flames. The purple firelight shone on his soul. Lin Moyu didn't act immediately. He had personally witnessed the formation of this innate flame. At the time, he had awakened one innate ability and then awakened a fourth through the innate godstone. Both innate abilities were golden, clearly not as powerful as purple. If the system hadn't intervened, he might have gained 4 innate abilities. But he also might have exploded and died. After all, it was common knowledge that humans could only possess 3 innate abilities. The system had appeared in time, fusing and optimizing the 2 innate abilities, ultimately forming the unique, God-level ability before him. It was because of this ability that he had transformed skill star cores into Shu Faang Xing spell constellations, greatly increasing his strength. The system had played a crucial role in him reaching his current level. "System, are you there?" His soul's voice echoed through the world of innate abilities. There was no response. The soul world was silent, without a single sound. "System," Lin Moyu called out again, but still received no answer. Lin Moyu knew the system was definitely there, but it only ever appeared at key moments. He took a deep breath, reached into the innate flame, and grasped the seed of innate ability. Instantly, Lin Moyu turned into a fire person, and excruciating pain drilled into him like a venomous snake. Lin Moyu remained silent, already accustomed to it. Carrying the seed of innate ability, he left the world of innate abilities. Lin Moyu looked back, and the world of innate abilities was still there. What's going on? Once the world of innate abilities lost all innate abilities, it should have closed, just like the skill space, it should have disappeared. But the world of innate abilities hadn't disappeared, it still existed. This was abnormal, it didn't make sense. It was different from what Antares had said. Lin Moyu, now transformed into a fire person, used the light of the flames to see a figure appear before the entrance to the world of innate abilities. System. Lin Moyu recognized it at a glance, it was the system that had appeared. It should be said, it was an image conjured by the system. He had seen it many times in skill demonstrations. Lin Moyu couldn't see its face clearly, but he could feel it looking at him. Chapter 816, 3rd Grade Soul, First Infusion. The world of innate abilities began to move away. Not shrinking or disappearing, but moving away. The gate to the world of innate abilities hadn't closed, the opening he had torn was still there. The necromancer conjured by the system didn't speak from beginning to end, and only looked at Lin Moyu for a few seconds. Even looked was just a feeling. The system took the world of innate abilities and flew deeper into this silent world. Lin Moyu wanted to chase after it, but ultimately didn't move. He knew that deeper in was a domain he couldn't touch. This was already the limit he could currently reach. If he continued to go deeper, his soul would become lost, it would sever all connections with his physical body, and even the all-around rebirth ability wouldn't be able to revive him. In those brief seconds, the silent look, Lin Moyu understood its meaning. The system was telling him to go find it. Not now, but in the future. The system is pointing me in a direction. Lin Moyu murmured, he truly understood. The system taking the world of innate abilities away was actually pointing him in a direction. In the future, he could use his innate abilities to find the direction to prepare. There was always some connection between an innate ability and its birthplace. This faint connection would become the best guidepost. Lin Moyu once again felt the goodwill of the system. Without any words, this feeling was very clear. Lin Moyu knew from the depths of his soul that the system wouldn't harm him, the system had always been helping him. At this moment, the world of innate abilities had completely disappeared. Lin Moyu didn't hesitate any longer, turning around and flying towards his soul world. The closer he got to the soul world, the stronger the connection between his soul and body became. His soul could gain direction and wouldn't become lost. Purple light illuminated Lin Moyu's way home, and the third seed of innate ability was thrown into the soul world. The soul world once again violently shook and turned into a sea of fire. The outer shell of the soul world became thicker and more solid, and some impurities in Lin Moyu's soul were burned away. The golden light that originally covered his soul suddenly contracted, the bronze helmet and iron armor disappeared, replaced by a layer of golden color. Above his soul, a layer of glazed golden light was slowly flowing. Golden glaze, the representative of a third-grade soul. Antares watched with great satisfaction. Little monster, little monster, do you know what this means? A second-grade soul is the basic condition for becoming a true god. All transcendent gods are working hard to get their souls to second grade. And a third-grade soul is the condition for surpassing true gods and achieving the God-King realm. Only when your soul reaches the third grade do you have hope of reaching the God-King realm. He had heard the God-King realm from Antares more than once. After true God was God-King, Lin Moyu felt the different sensation brought by the third-grade soul. The soul consists of three parts: quality, level, and power. The three parts are complementary and indispensable. An improvement in quality can, to some extent, drive improvements in level and power. A third-grade soul allowed Lin Moyu's soul level to advance another step, and his soul power became even purer. Lin Moyu opened his eyes and looked around his soul world. So, I already have the qualifications to become a God King. You should say, you've already met one of the conditions. Lin Moyu sincerely sought guidance. What are the other conditions? Antares wore a hint of mystery. Do you really want to know? Really, but I still can't tell you. Is that interesting to you? Lin Moyu didn't understand at all. He had already reached this point, and this guy was still hiding it. Was that interesting? Antares laughed and scolded. You know nothing. What I know is the method for our dragon race to advance, and it's completely different from your human race's method. If you advance according to our dragon race's method, who will be responsible if something goes wrong in the future? What's more, once you leave the small world, someone will naturally come to tell you, like that woman who gave you the jade pendant that day. Didn't she say she would come to pick you up? By then, you'll know everything. Why are you asking so anxiously now? Right now, honestly solidify your foundation, and it will be convenient to do whatever you want in the future. So that's what it was about. No wonder he couldn't tell him. Antares wasn't stingy, nor was he trying to be mysterious, but he was afraid of affecting him. I'm sorry, Lin Mo apologized to Antares, realizing he had misunderstood it. Antares was very generous. It's okay, it's okay. Although I don't understand your human cultivation methods, I can tell you that no matter what method you use, it cannot be separated from the soul and the laws. This is the root of all races, and there won't be much difference. Also, there are several cultivation methods in your human race. You should keep your eyes open and choose one carefully. Don't pick the wrong one. Although they all lead to the same destination in the end, it's always good to take fewer detours. Thank you. Lin Mo remembered Antares' words. The soul world no longer vibrated violently, and the third innate flame had also stabilized. The three talents settled down in the soul world, once again forming a triangular formation. The three talents were independent of each other, but also connected to each other. At the same time, their light shone on all the spell constellations, and a special connection was established between them and the spell constellations. Lin Mo's connection with his talents became even closer, from body to soul. This change was very subtle, and it would have been difficult to sense if he hadn't reached the third rank of soul. The transfer of talents was complete, and then came the nurturing. Antares murmured, using a third-rank soul to nurture talents for the first time is unheard of. The transfer of talents needs to be completed before level 90, and how strong can a soul be before level 90? Most people's souls are still at the first rank at that time, and even the peak of the first rank is rare. Occasionally, some people reach the second rank. Reaching the second rank of soul before level 90 is already considered an absolute genius. Such people are rare even in the great world. As for someone like Lin Mo, who reached the third rank of soul before level 90, it is unique. In any case, Antares had never heard of it. What's more, Lin Mo had transferred all three talents, and all three were top-level talents. Antares couldn't even estimate how far these three talents could eventually grow. Soul nurturing does not involve using soul power, but the soul itself. The soul-splitting technique was activated, and Lin Mo split off a wisp of his soul, which then flew into the talent seed. After being transferred, the talents had become Lin Mo's private property, completely branded with Lin Mo's mark. At this time, they would no longer cause any harm to Lin Mo. The split soul entered one of the talent seeds smoothly and was quickly absorbed by the seed. Lin Mo continued to split his soul, sending wisps of it in. The first nurturing cannot be completed in a short time, and often takes a long time. The amount of soul that each person can split each day is limited. After splitting to a certain extent, they can no longer continue, otherwise it will damage the soul itself. They have to wait for the soul to recover before continuing to split and nurture. Depending on the strength of the talent seed and the quality of the soul, the time it takes for each person to complete the first nurturing is different. The higher the level of talent, the longer the nurturing time. The higher the quality of the soul, the shorter the time required. Normally, it is normal to take several months to a year to complete the nurturing of one seed. Some people even took 2 or 3 years to complete the first nurturing. But for Lin Mo, all kinds of restrictions did not exist. Total Rebirth talent was not just for show. It had already fully demonstrated its power when transforming the spell constellations. So, Lin Mo began his crazy operation. Antares had been waiting for a long time, and once again began to sharpen its claws. Chapter 817, Giant Tree of Talent, United as One. Antares had never killed so happily. Lin Mo had never died so happily. For 3 days in a row, Lin Mo had been dying and living, living and dying. Every time the Total Rebirth talent was activated, its talent flame would tremble violently. But the talent flame was always strong, which gave Lin Mo confidence. Total Rebirth, along with the soul, was reborn, allowing Lin Mo to split his soul again each time. The number of times the soul could be split was also greatly increased. Others could only split a dozen strands at a time before having to recover. But Lin Mo was unscrupulously splitting hundreds of strands. When the soul was split almost completely, he would let Antares kill him a few times, using the talent to gain rebirth. Then continue to repeat the operation. In just 3 days, Lin Mo completed the nurturing of the first talent seed. The talent seed absorbed enough soul and established an extremely close connection with Lin Mo. Lin Mo felt that the talent seed was like his own child. After all, it was full of his soul. Antares hadn't killed enough. If you're full, switch to the next one. It won't sprout so quickly, it takes time. Lin Mo hummed and continued to split his soul, starting to nurture the second seed. Again and again, Lin Mo's operation became more and more proficient. Antares said while killing, "I've never seen someone like you. I'm going to destroy you, you monster." Before level 90, 3rd rank soul, are you kidding me? Before level 90, transcendent god level combat power, how are you letting others live? Before level 90, 22 spell constellations, who are you trying to scare to death? With the great world rune suppressing you, you can still reach level 90, if you're not a monster, who is? Lin Mo was speechless, feeling that this guy must be crazy. But then again, let him go crazy. For some reason, being trapped here for so many years, with Antares' strength, he must be extremely frustrated. But he can't tell anyone about this frustration, it will be even more depressing. If it weren't for its ability to sleep, it would probably have gone crazy. In the next 5 days, he didn't know how many times he was killed by Antares. Lin Mo was too lazy to count. 5 days later, he finally fed the other 2 talent seeds. The first nurturing of the talent seeds was completed, and now he was waiting for them to sprout. Lin Mo stared at the talent seeds, never leaving. Half a day ago, the first talent seed began to emit bursts of vitality, and it became stronger and stronger. Now the vitality has spread throughout the soul world, and it is about to sprout. A law suddenly appeared around the talent seed. Law of life. Lin Mo whispered. He had observed the growth process of snowgrass and had truly felt the law of life on the staff of Genesis. Although it was just a superficial thing created by Antares, the aura was the same. Now, the law of life suddenly appeared around the talent seed. This surprised Lin Mo a bit. Antares' eyes were filled with admiration, as expected of a top-level talent, coupled with a 3rd-rank soul, it actually gave birth to the law of life. Generally speaking, ordinary talents and ordinary souls can only give birth to some light elements, water elements, and the like. Being able to give birth to laws is already very awesome. As for giving birth to the law of life, that's even more awesome, super awesome. What kind of description is that? Lin Mo was speechless. However, the birth of the law of life is a good thing. In the future, there will be another law in his soul world. If he is interested one day, he can also comprehend the law of life, and he can also compare it with the life side of the law of immortality. Or, perhaps fusing the two laws together using origin limit fusion might produce some wonderful effects. With a soft sound, the seed cracked open, and a verdant sprout emerged. The moment the sprout appeared, the entire soul world became vibrant. The law of life transformed into raindrops, and a misty drizzle began to fall in the soul world. Lin Mo felt a powerful life force, eternally burning. The sprout grew uncontrollably, quickly sprouting a second and third leaf. Roots also began to grow, and the law of life became even stronger. The misty drizzle transformed into a torrential downpour at this moment. The rain of laws fell continuously, and the entire soul world was filled with the law of life, brimming with the aura of life. Lin Mo felt his soul full of vitality. Of course, this was just an illusion, brought about by the law of life. The roots grew thicker and thicker, becoming gnarled and intertwined. The sprout also grew into a main trunk, growing taller and taller, exceeding 10 meters in just a minute, too thick for one person to embrace. Many new branches and new green leaves grew on it. The comprehensive amplification talent seed had grown into a large tree. Accompanied by two crisp sounds, the other two talent seeds simultaneously took root and sprouted. The soul world, which was already experiencing a torrential downpour, suddenly became a howling gale. The law of life became more than 10 times richer. The rain of life transformed from raindrops into crystals, each crystal exuding a rich life force. Zero seeking fresh flowers. Manifestation of the law of life. Even Antares was shocked by the current scene. In its long life, it had never even heard of such a thing, let alone seen it. The two talent seeds that sprouted later grew rapidly, quickly sprouting branches that entwined around the large tree. The three talent seeds were now connected, intertwined and growing together. Lin Mo, watching, had an idea pop into his head, perhaps they were originally one. The three seeds grew together, and the manifested law of life was swept up by the gale and completely absorbed by them. Absorbing the law of life, they grew faster and taller. When the rain of life stopped, the three seeds had become a giant tree 100 meters tall. The roots were completely rooted in the soul world, and countless roots spread towards the depths of the soul world, heading to unknown places. 000. Numerous branches swayed in the soul world, each sway emitting the aura of laws. It seemed there was more than one law. The aura of the law of life was the most intense, followed by other laws. Antares closed its eyes and sensed the laws within. Who could imagine that just a dozen minutes ago, this large tree was merely 3 seeds? Lin Mo originally thought that taking root and sprouting would only result in a sapling, but he never expected it to become a 100-meter giant tree directly. The first watering alone caused such a big commotion, completely exceeding expectations. Now that the roots were rooted in the soul world and even spreading to unknown depths, it was absorbing energy in a way Lin Mo couldn't understand. The talent giant tree was far from reaching its limit. Lin Mo knew that his level was limiting its growth. Its limit was hard to estimate. The talent seeds disappeared, and the talent flames were gone. The 3 seeds merged into one, growing into a talent giant tree. Lin Mo reached out and stroked the talent giant tree, feeling a strong sense of intimacy from it. It was as if the talent giant tree was his own child, a part of his life. While conveying a sense of intimacy, the talent giant tree also transmitted new talent information to Lin Mo. The 3 talents had now merged into a new talent. Supreme First Order spell amplification by 100 times. All members of the Undead Legion share damage, share life and spirit, damage taken is reduced by half. The Undead Legion and the Master will be reborn when suffering fatal damage, instantly restoring to peak condition. All spells or reset cooldown can be reborn once every 55 seconds. Zhang. Chapter 818. Laying the most solid foundation. The 3 unique god-level talents merged together, forming a new talent. Lin Mo didn't know what level this new talent was. It seemed to have exceeded the scope of a unique god-level talent. The effects of the former 3 talents were not only fully preserved, but also enhanced. The name of the new talent was also very simple, Supreme. Lin Mo felt that this was the talent's proof to himself, indicating that it was the most powerful of all talents, without exception. And it was only at the first order now, with room for growth in the future. The role of the talent will grow stronger and stronger along with the talent giant tree. Just as Lin Mo was still experiencing the new talent, Antares came back to his senses with a sigh. Tisk tisk tisk, your talent giant tree is too perverted. Hearing its words, Lin Mo couldn't help but ask, how is it perverted? Antares said, a full 3 laws. Most people's talents don't have laws, and even if they do, it's just 1 law at most. How can you be so perverted? The law of life is the appearance, and behind it, the law of power and the law of balance are hidden. These 2 laws are hidden very deeply, and it is difficult for outsiders to sense them. Lin Mo did sense other laws, but apart from the law of life, he only sensed the other laws and didn't know what they were specifically. Now, listening to Antares' words, it corresponded. The law of life corresponded to the effect of complete rebirth in the talent. This law was the most obvious and the most intense, even the soul could be completely restored. The law of life had reached an extremely profound level. The law of power hidden behind the law of life corresponded to the amplification effect in the talent, increasing the effect of all spells by 100 times. And the law of balance corresponded to the part of the talent that shared damage, shared life and spirit. The former 3 talents corresponded to 3 laws respectively. Now that the talents were fused into one, the effects were retained without disappearing, and so were the laws. Lin Mo asked, the law of life is a second-tier law, what about the law of power and the law of balance? Antares replied casually, the same. All 3 laws are second-tier, and they are all among the top laws in the second tier. I didn't expect your talents to be able to merge together, that's really good. Lin Mo asked strangely, is there a difference? Of course there's a difference. Antares shouted loudly, the difference is huge. Lin Mo showed a humble and receptive look, waiting for Antares to answer his questions. This time, Antares didn't play coy, your human race can only have up to 3 talents. Being able to bring out 1 talent is considered a genius, worthy of vigorous cultivation. If you can bring out 2 talents, then you are a top genius, with unparalleled talent. If it's 3, Lin Mo understood the meaning of Antares' words in seconds, 3 will be envied, and people from other races will also target you, trying to intercept and kill you. Antares chuckled, it's good to know, no race wants top experts to appear in other races. After you enter the great world in the future, you must learn to be low-key before you have absolutely powerful strength. The great world is cruel. Lin Mo had already learned the rules of the great world from Antares. Survival of the fittest, the strong are kings. At this time, the talent giant tree swayed gently, and a branch fell down, wrapping around Lin Mo's hand. The soft leaves rubbed against Lin Mo's palm. The movements were extremely gentle, like a spoiled child. Then, an extremely pure soul power was transmitted through the branch. Lin Mo's soul body began to glow, and his physical body was also glowing. He instantly went from level 88 to level 89. Lin Mo was slightly surprised. He was still about 20% away from level 89, so how could he have leveled up all of a sudden? 20% of experience, if he were to comprehend the laws himself, it would take him a while. If he were to kill monsters to level up, it would take at least half a day. How could he level up in an instant now? Antares clearly knew what was going on. After the talent seed takes root and sprouts, it will absorb power from the depths of your soul and eventually feed it back to you. Even if you no longer cultivate or comprehend on your own in the future, your level will gradually increase. It will continue to increase until it reaches the upper limit of your soul level. Lin Mo's current soul level is 96, which means that even if he no longer cultivates and just sleeps every day, his level can still increase to 96. However, the speed of this passive leveling depends on the strength of the talent. The stronger the talent, the stronger the power absorbed after taking root and sprouting, and the faster the leveling speed. Conversely, it will be much slower. With Lin Mo's unique divine grade talent, coupled with the first watering of the 3-grade soul, the 3 talents merged into one, becoming a talent giant tree whose grade even Antares didn't know. The speed of improvement will inevitably be astonishingly fast. As the level increases, the soul level increases, and the talent will also become stronger. Forming a very good virtuous circle, constantly growing. Antares chuckled, with your intelligence, you should be able to figure it out. Lin Mo nodded, he could indeed figure it out. In the future, he only needs to constantly improve the level of his soul and improve the quality of his soul. As for leveling up, he no longer needs to worry about it himself. In fact, many strong people in the great world do this. Although it is said that after the strength becomes stronger and the realm improves, the lifespan also increases accordingly, but there are more things to do. comprehending laws, improving the soul, and even searching for treasures, etc. Everything requires a lot of time. If you still have to actively cultivate, it is really too busy. Using talent to passively cultivate has become the first choice for countless strong people. This way, they can free up a lot of time to do other things. Only those who have not been able to bring out their talents need to actively cultivate. However, even those who have not brought out their talents cannot be considered geniuses. As the strength and realm increase, the gap between them and those geniuses will become more and more distant. Lin Mo let out a long breath. He knew that his foundation was truly solid at this time. Before, starting from level 80, he repeatedly and tirelessly moved the skill star cores and transformed them into spell constellations. Using his unique talent, coupled with Antares' tacit cooperation, he finally laid a solid foundation for the future. Combat power is improved little by little. From the beginning, when he saw the Dragon Emperor, he could only retreat. Later, he could face the Dragon Emperor head-on. After that, he was able to beat the entire Dragon clan without any power to fight back. Now, even when facing a Transcendent, Lin Mo is completely fearless. All of this 0.9 everything is inseparable from Antares' help. Without it, he would not have been able to embark on such a path to the strongest. Thank you. Lin Mo was extremely sincere and thanked Antares. He has said thank you to Antares more than once. But never before has he been as sincere as he is now. So much accumulation has turned into two seemingly insignificant words at this moment. Antares looked indifferent. You don't need to be so polite. Anyway, I'm idle, just treat it as a pastime. But speaking of which, if you really want to thank me, don't be soft when I ask you to help kill people in the future. Lin Mo smiled. We are friends. Yes, we are friends, so why are you saying thank you? You can get lost. Becoming a god requires returning to your own world, you can't stay here. An incomparably terrifying giant palm appeared in the air. Chapter 819. I'll open a path for you. In the human world, space suddenly shattered, and Lin Mo rushed out and plunged into the vast sea, setting off a Dao Tian Zhu Lang. The calm sea was surging, and it took a long time to calm down. Lin Mo floated up from underwater, presenting a large character floating on the sea. At this time, the human world was in the middle of the night, and the sky was full of stars shining with bright light, illuminating the entire sea with sparkling light, which was very dreamy. The air of the human world, it has been a long time since I breathed it. Antares directly slapped him back to the human world. By the way, he also caused his undead army to collapse once, not giving him any face. Lin Mo remained motionless, just lying on the water, rising and falling with the waves. It is rare to enjoy such a quiet time. After slapping Lin Mo away, Antares squinted his eyes. That brat has become tougher again. Just now, it used the power of the third rank of True God. The new talent has once again improved Lin Mo's damage resistance. The spell amplification has increased to 100 times. This amplification is not effective for all spells. Passive spells such as status immunity and undead spirits do not have an amplification effect. But as passive spells, they can play a role in physical resistance and elemental resistance. Lin Mo's immunity to physical and elemental law attacks has increased to 100 times. The damage reduction effect of damage transfer has also increased to 100 times. Under the double superposition, Lin Mo's ability to reduce some damage has increased from 8,100 times to 10,000 times. The new talent also increases the endurance of the undead army. All damage suffered by the undead army is reduced by half. Converted, it is almost Lin Mo's defense power increased by more than 2 times, close to 3 times the level. In this way, at least 3 times the previous power is needed to inflict a fatal blow on Lin Mo. So Antares decisively used the power of the third rank of True God and directly blasted Lin Mo back to the human world. After Lin Mo left, Antares stared blankly at the space that was rapidly repairing, and sighed softly, "Stinky brat, keep it up. I should do something serious too. Zerg, your courage is really big." Then it raised its head, its eyes continued to shine with dazzling light. The power continued to climb, quickly sweeping the entire ancient battlefield. The creatures in the ancient battlefield were unable to move in an instant. An invisible pressure enveloped down, firmly fixing all creatures in place. Even the people in the Divine Summer ancient city were unable to move one by one. Everyone was shocked and didn't know what was happening. Some people felt that the end of the world was coming, and their faces showed fear. An angry roar sounded in the deep space, and Antares immediately issued a more intense roar, "Shut up, or I'll pinch you to death." The guy in the abyss space instantly shut up. This time, Antares was not joking, he could really do it. The Zerg manipulated the corpses of the dragon clan, especially the corpses of the elemental dragons, which was a blasphemy against the dragon clan. The light in Antares' eyes became more and more intense, and the thick fog shrouded in his body continued to churn, revealing his huge body. After continuing for several minutes, 2 rays of light shot out from Antares' eyes. Space shattered, and behind the space were layers of void. In the void, lightning and thunder roared, and countless energy turbulence was spurting. The 2 beams of light shot by Antares bombarded the void, transforming into 2 divine dragons that shattered the layers of space. The divine dragons were incredibly powerful, pulverizing the void. Eventually, a vast expanse of stars was revealed. Unusual starlight shone in from afar. The starlight carried an extraordinary aura, originating from a greater world. Antares forcibly broke through the world's barrier, opening a path to the greater world. The 2 divine dragons flew into the greater world and disappeared, carrying Antares will to the dragon race. Then, the void closed and quickly returned to normal. The ancient battlefield returned to its usual state. Everything that had just happened seemed as if it never occurred. Antares narrowed his eyes, his head lowered. "Let's see what you guys will do. You brat, if you can't find a way out in the future, I'll help you open a path. Who told you to be my friend, my only friend?" Antares' voice wasn't loud, but it was extremely domineering. Lin Mo slept soundly in the waves, drifting peacefully through the night. It wasn't until the next day, when the sun rose from the east, illuminating the sea and stirring up golden light, that Lin Mo woke up in the warm sunlight. Then, he soared into the air, unfurled his wings of the undead, located the direction of the divine summer empire, and flew towards it. With his current strength, without using soul power, his flight speed was 10,000 meters per second. This speed was already extremely fast, but if he used his soul power, there would be no upper limit to his speed. Lin Mo didn't know what his current maximum speed was. This time, he used all of his soul power, instantly injecting it into the wings of the undead. With a loud bang, space shattered directly. In the next second, Lin Mo had crossed at least 1,000 kilometers, entering the territory of the Divine Summer Empire. 1,000 kilometers per second, which is 1,000,000 meters. This speed was even faster than ordinary teleportation. The entire flight process was like instantaneous movement. Lin Mo felt as if he had directly broken the limitations of space, moving from another dimension. 3 seconds later, Lin Mo had flown 3,000 kilometers, arriving above the capital of the Divine Summer Empire, Shajing City. Looking at the familiar Shajing Academy, Lin Mo smiled faintly. "I flew over." He turned and flew towards Bai Shen's courtyard. Strangely, flight should have been prohibited over Shajing City, but no one came to stop him. Moreover, he saw other professionals also flying freely in the air like him. In addition, there was a team of soldiers, seemingly carrying out patrol missions. They didn't stop other professionals from flying in the air. The rules of the Divine Summer Empire have changed. During this period, the world had undergone drastic changes, so it was normal for the Divine Summer Empire to change some rules. All non-Divine Summer people had become sacrifices in the Blood Clan's disaster. Even Divine Summer people had decreased by nearly 20%. The post-disaster world was rebuilt, and everything started anew. The whole world seemed to have returned to the beginning of this era, with only the Divine Summer human race in the world. At that time, Lin Mo was somewhat shocked when the Blood Clan treated all non-Divine Summer people in the world as sacrifices. But Antares' later words made Lin Mo realize that even if these people didn't die now, they would die in the future. When his small world really entered the greater world one day in the future, the strong of the human race would inevitably arrive. They would not allow the existence of non-orthodox human bloodlines, and would directly use the most bloody means to obliterate them. Even some extremists, in order to ensure nothing went wrong, might even destroy the entire world. Similar things had happened in the long history of the greater world. Regardless of the race, they all valued their bloodline very much. If the Blood Clan's actions were known by the strong of the human race, it would inevitably stir up a storm of blood. Bai Shen's courtyard was as peaceful as ever. As soon as Lin Mo entered Bai Shen's courtyard, Bai Yiyuan's hearty voice came from inside. "Xiao Yu, come in quickly." Chapter 820. Time to hold the wedding. Lin Mo didn't hide his aura. Returning to Bai Shen's courtyard was like returning home, so there was no need to be sneaky. In Bai Shen's courtyard, Meng Anwen was still the same as before, lying on that old chair, as if he hadn't moved. Bai Yiyuan and Yan Kuang were drinking tea and chatting. They seemed to have endless things to say, and of course, endless bickering. Sometimes they would stop talking, and both would look up at the sky, wondering what they were thinking. At their level of cultivation, although they still needed to continue cultivating, the more important thing was comprehension. The level of the soul was of utmost importance. As long as the level of the soul was improved, the improvement of soul power was not difficult. But to improve the level of the soul, one had to comprehend the laws, and to comprehend nature. The process was not easy. It was normal to have no progress for several years. Lin Mo went over and refilled hot tea for the three of them. Teacher, have some tea. No matter how his strength changed, Lin Mo was their disciple, and that would not change. Yan Kuangsheng drank the tea, sighing repeatedly, seeing Xiao Yu, I feel like I'm getting old. Lin Mo smiled, teacher, you are in your prime. Bai Yiyuan snorted, did you hear that? In your prime, quickly find a wife and have a baby. My wife is my knife, it can't give birth. Yan Kuangsheng directly refused, not giving Bai Yiyuan any face. Bai Yiyuan glared at him, be careful of becoming a eunuch. Yan Kuangsheng glared at Bai Yiyuan, it's none of your business. While you still have leisure, you should enjoy it, because in a few months, you'll be busy. Lin Mo immediately reacted, is master's wife pregnant? Bai Yiyuan's old face turned red, yes, she should be giving birth in a few months. Congratulations, teacher. Lin Mo immediately congratulated Bai Yiyuan. Bai Yiyuan was nearly 100 years old, truly having a child in his old age. Meng Anwen suddenly spoke, Xiao Yu, you're not young anymore, and it's about time to hold the wedding with Yi. Bai Yiyuan also nodded his head, now that everything is settled, it's about time to hold it. Lin Mo thought of Ning Yi, I haven't seen Yi in a long time, I wonder how that girl is doing recently. Meng Anwen said, same as always, that girl is a bit crazy, forming a small team with a few other girls, and is farming dungeons all over the world. Now all the dungeons in the world belong to our divine summer, there are so many dungeons that we can't finish farming them, and there's no need to compete anymore. The dungeon hall managed by Old Man Ning has lost a large portion of its people. I've long disliked those foreigners, I didn't expect them to be hybrids created by extraterrestrial races. Yan Kuangsheng and Bai Yiyuan said one thing after another, it was rare for the two of them to agree on something. Lin Mo drank his tea, the world becoming like this now, it seemed not bad. The internal strife had been completely eliminated, and now they only needed to unite externally and deal with the abyss demons with all their strength. Meng Anwen looked at Lin Mo, what do you really think? Lin Mo thought for a while, Yi and I have an agreement, we'll get married when she reaches level 70. Bai Yiyuan suddenly laughed loudly, no wonder that girl Yi has been working so hard recently. Good, good, girl Yi is already level 69, then we can start preparing things. It seems we can start preparing. Let's discuss where to hold the wedding and who to invite over. Yes, we need to discuss this carefully, after all, our identities are different. Xiao Yu is our disciple, and Yi is Old Man Ning's precious granddaughter, we can't make this simple. Then let's make it a big event, invite everyone we should and shouldn't. The group started discussing again, and Lin Mo Yu became an outsider. From beginning to end, they didn't ask Lin Mo Yu a single question. However, Lin Mo Yu learned about Ning Yi's recent situation. Ning Yi and Mo Yun were leveling up together, working very hard, and their leveling speed was extremely fast. They were about to reach level 70, and the agreed time was approaching, it was time for him to propose marriage. Lin Mo Yu also checked his own status. The talent giant tree was constantly absorbing power from somewhere and continuously pouring it into him. Even if he didn't cultivate, he estimated that he would reach level 90 in a few days. Level 90 was also God level, and for many professionals, reaching God level would be a huge transformation. Even though Lin Mo Yu had already paved the way to becoming a god, there would still be dramatic changes. First of all, attributes would increase significantly. Although attributes didn't have much effect, they were a symbol. At least before becoming a transcendent god, attributes were still useful. When the comprehension of laws was thorough enough, one could start controlling laws and push one of the attributes to 10 million, then one could break through the bottleneck and step into transcendence. After reaching the transcendent God level, the four-dimensional attributes would retreat to the background. The soul and laws would become the new standard for measuring strength. Lin Moyu's gaze seemed to penetrate space, looking at a place far away. I can ask my teacher to come forward for the proposal, and my sister must be invited to the wedding. Lin Moyu pondered in his heart. His sister, Lin Mohan, was his only blood relative in this world, how could she not attend his wedding? Lin Mohan's personality was too decisive and opinionated. After Di Huang left, he didn't know what he had said to her. Lin Mohan told him that everyone has their own path to take, and she also has her own path to take. Perhaps one day in the future, they could meet again at the end. After that, Lin Moyu never had any news from her. Teacher, have you seen my sister? Lin Moyu asked. Meng Anwen shook his head. I haven't seen her in person, but there was news of your sister during the internal strife some time ago. Bai Yiyuan said in a low voice. At that time, tens of thousands of blood slaves broke into the island where the Creation God Academy was located. By the time we arrived, the blood slaves of the Creation God Academy had been killed. According to the students of the Creation God Academy, a goddess flew out from the deepest part of the academy at that time. This goddess held two swords and slashed countless sword lights in the air, killing all the blood slaves. Meng Anwen nodded. It should be your sister who did it. We felt the aura of laws there. Your sister may have reached level 96. Lin Moyu was also slightly surprised. He knew that his sister's talent could greatly increase cultivation speed. He just didn't expect it to be so fast. This kind of talent seems to become faster and faster as the level increases. And with Di Huang around, Lin Mohan must have also transferred her talent. Even after reaching level 90, the talent still played a role. When the teacher arrived, my sister was already gone. Lin Moyu asked. Meng Anwen hummed in agreement. She should have already left. I want to go take a look. Denuo Zhao. I'll send you over. Meng Anwen didn't waste any words. With a tap of his finger, the Divine Summer Tower immediately arranged a simple teleportation array that could directly reach the Creation God Academy. The Creation God Academy was located on an island, and the waves lapped against the beach, sending out rhythmic sounds. The teleportation array of the Creation God Academy lit up slightly, and Lin Moyu walked out of it. It was still a bit far from the Creation God Academy. Lin Moyu identified the direction, the wings of the undead shook slightly, and the whole person appeared at the deepest part of the island as if teleporting. Lin Moyu's soul had reached the 3rd rank, and his level was also 96, extremely sharp. Here, he felt the aura left by a half-step transcendent god. It should be the aura of Di Huang. In addition, there was the aura belonging to Lin Mohan. Sharp laws still remained in the air, which should be Lin Mohan's giant of laws. Not just level 96, already at 97. Lin Moyu judged Lin Mohan's level through the laws. Although he had expected it, he still couldn't help but be a little shocked.